Yep.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So since my warfare is 1 yellow and 2 green, that's better than my cool of 2 yellow, correct? Because triumphs don't count.
Yeah,
For
so if it's for
initiative, I would
initiative,
agree.
yeah, that would be more dice would be better odds of getting successes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now the final question in my bunch of questions. How do I get the game to recognize an unusual initiative stat?
That
Manually switch the initiative when you go to do the initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Temporary change.
it'll be a
Switch like the cool to your warfare and then switch it back after initiative.
it's a total pain in the butt.
Okay.
I'll totally warn you that it's better, but it is a total pain in the butt. Because the only way for it to pop up on the initiative tracker is if you do it as either
Right,
cool or
you go
vigilance.
it through initiative.
What you could do is manually type out what it should be in the slot next to the skill dice, where it gives you that blank slot where you can add a blue, take away a black, You could totally negative yellow but +2 green when you roll. I mean, it would be super sloppy and messy.
What I could do is my vigilance is 2 green, so I could just add a yellow to that
Yeah.
and just always roll vigilance.
Yeah, you could
Or if
totally
you
add a yellow to your dice pool when you click it.
or
Well, I mean, since I'm never going to be using vigilance for that anyway, I could just permanently put it in my modifiers, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
or you could roll warfare, make a warfare roll in the pool, and James could put it in manually.
No. We don't want to do that. So
Make James
let me
work.
try this.
So I'll be right back. Let me go mute my fish tank because it's making way too much noise.
All right.
I mean,
Okay,
I don't even
that
hear it on
did
the
not
microphone,
work.
but I hear it in the background. That's enough for me. How do my clients at work cope with hearing that noise? I don't know. I'll be right back.
Okay, that did not work either. How do you add a yellow in the modifiers again?
You mean subtract?
No, add. I've got 1 yellow and 2 green.
It's
It's currently rolling 2 green.
do 1Y. Type
Oh,
just
1
type in
Y.
1Y. Yeah.
Okay.
Nope. That's weird. Try. Does it
What's
say?
1Y?
Yeah. Try that.
Nope.
Huh. Weird.
Let me look here.
Did you click outside of the box before you rolled it?
Oh, okay. Let me try that again. Outside of the box and to a completely new window and then back in. Nope.
Yeah.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Hey.
There it is. Okay, it's working now. Sorry. Just was having some microphone difficulties.
Try this. Worked for me.
What did you put in?
I went to initiative and I just typed. I put in modifiers. I typed 1Y.
1Y.
1Y. Click outside of the box.
Right outside of the box.
Yeah.
And then let me try lowercase y.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's it.
Lowercase y works, uppercase y does not.
Nice, and it does work, it looks like. I will remove
Eventually
all turns so you can double check it just in case. Yep, perfect.
Perfect.
Yay.
Yay, less work for me. I mean, yay, good job.
And there was much rejoicing. Oh,
Oof. Super
Gage.
tart cherry juice.
nice.
Leftovers from the last batch that I'm brewing up of Viking's Wood. Because
Oh, they
sadly,
work.
I bottled and drank / gave some away, and it goes away so fast when you only make a gallon or two at a time.
Right?
So now my fish tank is keeping my jugs warm enough to keep fermenting. Thankfully, it's right at 70 to 72 degrees, which is perfect. Who knew an 80-degree fish tank with bottles of liquor bubbling away on top of it is at the perfect temperature?
So you have no fish in the fish tank. You're just brewing with the fish tank.
No, the fish tank's got its thing going, but they're sitting on top of the
Oh.
glass. So the
Oh,
heat
okay.
rising from the water is warming up the glass and keeping them warm.
Okay.
Who knew? I was looking for a warm place to put them. I'm like, when that first freeze day we had where it got super cold snap, I was touching the fish tank next to my desk to warm my fingers up. And then I'm like, the tank it's 200 gallons at 80 degrees, so that's pretty hot. That's a lot of heat
Wow.
coming off of it.
Yeah, that's a heat sink.
I didn't realize you had such a huge tank.
Yeah, it's the tank I originally bought for raising tilapia fry, and then it ends
Okay.
up just having guppies in it right now.
Ah. Do you need a 20-gallon isolation tank?
I would totally say yes, but Kelly would kick my ass for getting another one.
Okay.
Technically, no, I don't need another fish tank. That's
Okay.
that's the rule.
Cause my last fish just died after like 8 years. It lasted an incredibly long time.
Aww.
It was like a dollar fish.
And
I have no idea, and it was like a really old man fish. It like was kind of curved and like floated and ate sideways, and he just was not happy anymore.
he had some issues, and it was time.
Yeah. So I no longer have any fish in my fish tank, and I'm looking to get rid of it to a good home.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do not have space for another tank.
Okay.
But thank you for the offer. That, and I'd probably get yelled at for saying, "Hey, I'm gonna plug in a heater for another fish tank." We haven't even turned the actual heater on yet.
Wow.
Needless to say, Kelly's loving having the house at an ice cold temperature. Needless to say, I had to buy the dogs some more dog blankets.
It's like, don't mind it cool, but not cold.
Subarctic, that's about what it's at right now in Arizona.
Yes.
Brick house with concrete floors. Only her office is carpeted. Oh, speaking of office, I got a confirmation that for Christmas, my present is taking all my gear to the office the day before Christmas, and then starting to work from office after that. So, my schedule's going to be all jacked up for the next, 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, such fun.
But after daylight savings, everything will go back to normal, because my shift will be 9 to 5:30 again.
Yeah,
So
that means don't hold your breath.
Yep. So, everybody here? I wasn't sure if I heard everybody, but I thought I did.
I think
I am here.
Okay. So y'all remember what happened when you left off, right?
pretty much.
Nope.
Y'all,
Pretty much.
your job was to hijack the cargo of a Gazanti class cruiser, which you guys expertly showed up and disabled I mean, it wasn't like one turn away from jumping to hyperspace or nothing. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You guys did some really cool stuff that did some really detrimental stuff to the group on board. Like, mainly your ion weapons caused some really cool Triumph feedback that shut off the 2 badass security droids that stay on the ship.
Yes.
And the ship is currently being manically repaired because it's set down to 0 strain, which you totally hope the engineers will fix it before you guys take the ship over. Because that would be so kind of them to fix that crap so you don't have to worry about it.
Yes, it would.
And as you can see, I put a little wall there. Let me make sure you're on the same map as I am. Yes, you are. That you guys connected to 3 of the docking ports after taking out the TIE fighters. And you guys were last flying up the little umbilicals in 0G, and you managed to, through hook or crook, connect your way through the thing and unlock the hatches. So at this very moment, you guys are popping to the decks of the cargo area. And what are you guys doing before the shit hits the fan?
So where's so Ennis wakes up in his Y-wing and decides to jump through too, right? Since he was sleeping.
I participated in the combat encounter. I said some inspirational things and then shot things with an ion turret.
See, he's right
that's
here.
Right. So where are you? There you are. I was gonna say because I didn't see him here. So
He's
I'm
just
like,
outside the ship right now. There you go.
Okay,
He's with
there we go.
rigor.
Yeah, so I believe, so, I mean, I'm going to probably just have my hands on my gun. I don't want to spin anything up yet because, well, spinning barrels can be a little dangerous. But, yeah.
Is there light in here, or is the ship powerless?
The ship is currently powerless.
Okay, so I'm gonna slap on my scanner goggles, and I'll have my weapon in my hand at the ready.
And there is a faint red light, but it's really piss poor light, so there will be a black dice anything you do without some kind of way of mitigating the darkness with the big dark shadows.
You mean being like Celestrans?
Yeah. The Celestrians with their dark vision, to steal the term from another game that's not Star Wars.
So here's the question: we've got this map here. Do we know the layout of it?
You
already,
know,
or
you know the layout of a basic Gazanti class cruiser.
okay. Is that this? Is this a basic one? I mean, or is this a
Presumably.
different?
Sure. As far as we know.
Presumably.
Okay.
I mean, you'll find out shortly, won't you?
We're not necessarily expecting it to be non-normal, but that doesn't mean it's not.
So what?
Okay.
Is this the ramp down, or stairs down, or elevator down, or something? Not liking all that.
Is that fog of war, Jim?
No, actually, that's cargo containers.
I have a suggestion, actually.
So
This
is our
ladder-
objective to get the containers, or are we going to steal the whole ship?
We're here to
Well,
steal
shit.
shit.
You're here for the cargo, and if the ship happens to follow, I'm sure nobody would be brokenhearted. I mean,
Except maybe the Empire.
Yeah, where's
I
the
did have a suggestion.
where's the turbo or?
so on a standard design, you totally know that the ladder here goes
and
to
then
the
this
next
is
level,
down too, right?
and then this would be down.
Yeah.
Wait,
And-
shouldn't it be up? Because we should be on the bottom of the ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because the things.
Or
Okay.
whichever.
to the
This
next level.
ladder. This ladder goes to, I think, if I'm reading it correctly, goes to this storage area.
Correct.
All
number
3 levels.
20.
That ladder goes through all 3 areas.
Okay,
Yes.
and then if we were to go up into the blue 20 area, if we blew this wall right here, we have a straight shot to the bridge, and they might not expect us to come that way.
Okay, so I believe from the side view at the very bottom, it looks like the blue 20 area is just like the open air in the same room that we are in. Like it
Oh.
looks like it's one connected
Yeah.
room, and that
even
we can
better.
either go forward in this deck,
Yep.
or we can go up to the or we can go forward and up to the next level.
Yeah. Well,
And
if that's the case, if that's open above us, what we could do is if we
Nope.
climbed up and blew a hole in this wall here, they
No,
again
there's
they might not.
no. It's just it's really tall on the mid level. You can't. You'd have to go all the way to the top.
yeah, this isn't actually a door. You basically have to climb the very tall ceiling.
Right, but
Yeah,
we have
I think-
stuff
Like, if you
we
go
have
to the
stuff to
bottom map, you can
slow
totally
it up.
see what the levels look like on the very bottom map.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think he was suggesting we try and like climb on top of some cargo and then blow a hole in the wall. But I
Yes,
think
that's
I think that involves
Stack
a
up
little
the
bit of
cargo.
unnecessary destruction. I think we can just like go through the door in front of us and take the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be sneaky, you know. Do what
I
they don't
appreciate the sentiment, but they very much know that we are here and have a very large gun. So I'm not sure stealth is necessarily going to be our optimal.
And the boxes
Wow.
you see on level 20, those are actually hoisted to the ceiling.
Okay.
Okay.
So those basically are hanging about 10 feet above your heads. Just high enough that they don't hit the cargo containers down below if there's any in the way, which conveniently they did not put any cargo containers on either of these areas.
Question, Jim. Does the flex tape have like a set detonator that we can like take with us and then blow whenever?
It does not. It's basically you set it and you basically have about 15 to 20 seconds to get the hell out of there.
Okay. Okay.
That's why it's so easy to use. Even a child can see its instructions on a bunk ladder and know how to use it the first time.
So looking at that ladder in the very back of the ship,
That one.
is there a way to like I'll poke my head out, so like I'll run up to like here?
Okay, so before
And-
you do that, let's go ahead and roll initiative.
What?
Oh, should we
'Cause-
roll Destiny first?
Oh well, you
That would probably be a
totally
good
want to
idea.
roll that too. I mean, that's just something you want to have. Let's make sure the Destiny pool's working before anyone rolls it. Unlike that one person, yeah, it's not working. Let's see, clear pool. Yeah, I'm getting warning signs that it's not working. So everybody, take a quick second to log out, exit game,
Yeah, man.
and let's go ahead and relaunch the settings here. We go to the IP scripts. We will restart the sandbox. Oh yeah, they've updated the ADD attributes for Dice Pool. Go figure, I could have told you that. Let me jump back in and see if that did it.
Alright, guess he's off for the night. Sorry.
I was gonna say, who's that?
Oh, sorry. No, I was. So there's Bushwhacker Firearms here. They're out of Tucson here. They're doing a bunch of gun raffles.
Oh,
A
okay.
friend of mine's already won 3 times out of like 6, 7 raffles.
Nice.
Yeah, like 30 spots or 35, depending on what the gun is, and like $10 to $15 per number you want to choose.
That's hella lucky.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, he's won like 3 times. I'm like, what the hell, dude?
Okay,
Oh, they
I've
got
restarted it a second time after deleting Dice Pool character sheet. So let's see if that did the job. And I have a new dice pool character. Let's see if that works. Force player update. Clear pool.
Did you jump back in the water?
Okay, looks like it's working now.
All right,
I
jumping
had
back in the pool.
I had to completely log and delete and create a new one and all kinds of fun stuff.
So do we have to exit just the game or the entire Roll20?
You should exit all of just the game,
Okay.
Yeah,
and then
just
click
it's
update, and you
syncing.
should see 1-in-1 now.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and clear it, and then update you guys. So you should be able to start rolling your Destiny points.
Yep. It's all working. Here we go.
We got our first dark side, 2 light side, 1 dark side. I love the balance of the Force.
How's it gonna be broke?
1 light
Hey.
side. So we're 3 and 2. We are 3 and 3. We have balance in the Force. That's just nice.
And what are we doing for initiative? Not that it matters for me.
You guys obviously are prepared, so you know what's coming down the pike here.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be jumping in the door and attacking a bunch of shit.
Wow.
Let's do this.
Wow, that's wow.
That's some numbers.
Wow. That is definitely some numbers.
There are 5 of us?
Yeah, there's 5 of you.
Ah, okay. Just not used to such numbers.
Actually,
yeah,
where is Kay, by the way, in this?
Yeah, speaking of which, when did
yeah.
Kay show up?
Apparently,
that's who was missing last time was Kate.
apparently
That's right.
Enos kicked you out of your seat. And which one of these 2 ships did you hitch a ride in?
It would have had to been the Y-wing.
Oh.
The X-wing only has 1 seat.
Yeah,
Yep.
I have an X-wing.
Yep. He was
That's
not
the one that was
sitting in
sleeping.
your lap.
Actually, he could have been in the other Y-wing because there's 2 seats available because Riggs is socketed.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so go ahead and pick whichever Y-wing you want to be with.
Well, the other one would have had his fancy jamming equipment, right?
Yep, his fancy communication gear.
Nobody wanted to ride with the Doc.
Aww. When you can so easily say, "Hey Doc, can you fill this pharmacy, this script for me?" I mean, there's nothing nicer than having your Doc on hand for pharmacy refills.
Right? I feel so sad. It's all right. You'll learn to be nice to your Doc.
Oh, so harsh, so harsh.
All right.
Okay, so what is the first bout of actions going to be for you guys?
Well, I would like to run out here and see what I can see.
You see a closed door. There's spooky red lighting with lots of shadows from the cargo containers, each one that is dutifully marked by the Imperial, saying communications equipment or food stuff. You see the ladder here. It's one of those little Jeffries tube type of deals that goes from level to level to level. It's half open, so you can easily climb down then jump out on the deck. This door is closed, and you know from your schematics that this is the rear gunner's gun.
I'm going to holler
Is the
to.
cockpit on level 2 with those 2 guys in it, like 18 maybe?
Yep, the cockpit is number 12 on the next deck, by the way.
4 guys in it.
Oh, okay. What's 18 then?
18, that is engineering.
Where is
Oh,
it?
okay.
I am going to
Oh,
holler.
there's like there's like descriptions and everything.
Yeah.
I don't even see where 18 is.
Because there's 2 guys on top of the number.
Oh, that one. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, I'm gonna holler back to Quinn to watch the Quinn and Oni to watch the Jeffries tube and the door back there to make sure that we don't get ambushed real quick. And I'm going to check the door here to see if it's unlocked, and if not, I'm going to ask Rigger to come open it. Otherwise, I will, well, try to brace myself for shooting.
It should be able to manually pump it open, right?
Yep, you can
Without
totally
power.
go up there and do a mechanics for it. And just to make sure, it's the door that's right next to you you're talking about, right?
Yeah, the one I just ran over to.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so there's some actions happening elsewhere. There's things going on. People are yelling at other people.
Riggs, can you come get this door open? I don't know how to mechanics.
Wow.
Oh, this isn't quite in the right order, is it?
Okay.
As a speeder bike goes flying through space.
Ah.
And I can totally tell you out of character that these 2 guys seem to have been electrocuted and are currently out of commission.
Which 2 guys?
If you look
Up
in room
front
number
on our
1,
level.
the 2 big scary guys.
Okay. Out of commission. Okay, so mechanics roll?
Yep, so you're gonna you're able to get there because conveniently your ship was right there by the door.
How convenient.
So so easy, so nice.
Okay.
Let's see if we can make interesting things happen.
Oh, good lord.
Ah, dang it. You beat me to it. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Oh, sweat. Got
As immediately you go up there and you pop the access panel, and with your little tiny articulator hands, you look at and you salute your leader, and you proceed to mechanics, 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 and the door whooshes open with a whoosh. Does anyone want to
Whoosh.
do the whoosh? I knew somebody
Whoosh.
did. And the second you do that, you see a stormtrooper sergeant, a pair of stormtroopers, 3 Imperial engineer guys, and an Imperial officer still all standing at the door looking like they were about to do the exact same thing you just did. And they look at you, you look at them. There's kind of this moment that the what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of you all have together. That's just totally shared with just you guys. It's a super sweet moment.
Like, hey, how are you? We're fine. And you?
We're fine, totally fine. Reactor leak. You don't want to be on this floor. So, I mean, you can totally take 2 strain and take another maneuver if you want it. I mean, do you want to just stand there, or would you like to take 2 strain to run away out of line of fire?
I would like to do that.
"Oh,
I would very much like to do that.
That's totally a very sensible thing to do, by the way.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Since I didn't actually take an action, is there any chance that I could potentially use my action to like maneuver out from right in front of the door? Like,
Nope.
no,
You're
okay,
in the ship there,
You took your turn there, buddy.
okay.
What happened?
You probably
You're in the
don't want to
ship.
be on the
You need to
wall
move
here. You
here
want to probably
or
pick
here.
a real
Yeah.
square.
All right.
Oh, I guess it was actually kind of a corner.
Yeah, it
Sorry.
kind of was like halfway in, halfway out.
Be
But I get further
hit
back.
point for some reason.
She's like, don't judge my droid. She's like, don't judge me.
I didn't
hide.
look like it. Well, but you were good.
He's the doctor. He looks after us. It's fine.
Yep.
You're like, doctor, can you do some mechanics, please?
Okay.
Okay, so you're taking the 2 strain to basically run away, which is not a bad idea. I'm just gonna throw that out there. When you open the door and see that the room is full of people who were just as shocked to see you there as you are shocked to see them.
Yeah.
You hear this little wow, and then she runs, and then she runs away.
Yeah.
You guys are
You
like,
see
what?
everyone standing there all stunned that they're there, and then the droid just turns around and whooshes off.
Nope. Right out of that
Unfortunately,
situation.
this here stormtrooper sergeant looks at this here clone trooper guy, and he kind of knows you don't belong here since he is the sergeant in charge of securing the cargo deck here. And he's got no problem yoking up his very large heavy blaster rifle and shooting at you at almost point blank range.
Am I
Sounds
able-
lovely.
Hey, wait. The advantages. Am I able to send a blue dice over to someone, or no?
Only if
Yeah.
you can justify how your mechanics roll would have helped somebody.
Hmm.
I mean, I could totally see her like getting it, like having the mechanics, the door like opened at right the particular moment, so like whoever on the enemy team was trying to open that door in that particular moment was definitely preoccupied.
And surprised.
Yeah.
Maybe not a blue, but could give the next one of them to go a black for being
Yeah.
shocked and surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I.
I'll even say it'll let you upgrade the difficulty for them shooting at Enos at point blank range.
There you go.
Please.
Thank you.
They weren't
Yeah.
expecting somebody right there.
Because the door
Yeah, we weren't either.
snapped open and he kind of reaches up and panic fires, in a very controlled imperial kind of way.
I'm sure Quinn will be happy that I'll have one less crit.
Hopefully.
As the poor guy's like, don't
Well,
get crit
it
again.
looks like we're going to be testing the boundaries of how bad shot stormtroopers are.
So this guy's gonna shoot at you. Do you have any range defense at short range?
I believe I have one ranged defense.
1 range defense. Okay, so he takes his shot.
Damn.
And that big old heavy Imperial heavy blast rifle goes ka-choosh with one
No crit.
with one clean shot that was just shy of critting you. That's good at least. And he's gonna go ahead and give you a black dice in your next action because you're just a little off put about being shot with a heavy caliber rifle at point blank range.
Oh.
And the whole 11 points damage thing.
There's that, I suppose.
And that's the sergeant's turn.
It's all right. I still have more health than some of our team's max health. I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's going
You got
next?
this. There was no crit. All right.
Everyone gets quiet. And remember, short range is 4 squares.
Yep. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, you guys got all this beautiful cover. I'm just saying.
That's what range? 7 squares.
medium, I think.
7 squares. 1. Who's that?
Oh, ignore the short to close. It's supposed to be.
Yeah, I was like going, wait, what? That'd be
It's
extreme.
short, medium, and long. So anything higher than the orange is your medium.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's got the names for the space combat listed on it, but it's basically short, medium, and long. So which one are you shooting at in the doorway?
Well, give me a second here.
You only have a good clear-ish shot on the officer and the stormtrooper with the giant-ass rifle.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so
But
it's
I'm
3,
gonna come
6.
here and take 2 strain.
So 3, 6, and 9, right, James?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Pretty much anything past the 6 is long.
Alright, where the hell?
And we can move 4, is that right? Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, you can move 4.
Yeah, so I double moved, so I'm taking strain. And 1, 2. Alright. And then I'm shooting the captain dude here or whatever.
Imperial officer.
Does he look like the man in charge?
He looks like an Imperial officer. You didn't get a really
Alright.
good look at him with Enos standing in the way getting shot.
Yeah. Alright. I'll shoot him.
Okay, and it looks like he's just within short distance.
Yeah.
The door, thankfully, because he's there hugging it, is giving him a little bit of cover.
Oh, sure.
Okay, go ahead and take your shot when you're ready.
Wow, spending all those things early, aren't you?
Yep.
Alright. Well, here we go. Damn it.
Damn, them red's on fire. And you pachoo, and blaster fire hits right above Enos's head, making him cringe about how many of my teammates are behind me. And I'm assuming you're shooting on lethal, not stun, right? I thought I should probably
lethal.
totally ask that.
Yeah, no, lethal. We don't need these guys.
Okay, so who's going next?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I got 3,
Where are you going to put those? You could totally give someone who's only taken 2 an action and not even, a maneuver and not their action, a second maneuver. If you wanted to give Enos cover to escape.
well,
Everyone totally cringed so he could make a dash for it, maybe. I'm just saying, if I was him, I would say, please give it to me. But I know he's not the begging sort.
yeah, but he can go at the top of the order to do something.
Yeah, and I also have a plan.
Oh, he's got a plan.
But I was kind of thinking of knocking the officer down.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you wanna make it harder for them to hit me, that would be lovely.
Yeah, so I'll put the officer on his stookus.
Okay, so you definitely knocked him down on his butt. He
Go
totally
out.
did that
Like,
whole
oh, shit.
jerked his head back and fell right against the wall and kind of like he's looking at these troopers to go ahead and attack. I want you to attack. So that brings us up to Oni and Kay. What are you guys doing?
Okay, do you have anything you wanted to do? Crickets? Okay.
Yeah, the 2 squishier of the party are like,
Yeah.
Like, which one do you want? Which ones go first?
Everybody's like, I'm just living
trying
in
to figure
peace,
out
love,
this,
and rock and roll.
7 from there. It's 6. So 6 would be medium range, right?
6 would be medium range, just at the edge of it.
Okay. Okie doke. I will. Let's see. I'm gonna scooch into kind of like here, and I'm going to kind of take cover, sort of like kind of stuck kind of in between them a little bit, and then I'm going to shoot at I'll shoot at that stormtrooper that just lit Enos up.
The guy with the big, scary, big-ass rifle. That's perfectly sensible.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, are you gonna spend some strain to aim?
I am not going to spend strain at the moment, but I am going to flip a light side.
I will gladly take that dark side point back. I mean, give you the great heroic upgrade that you would like.
That. Ready when you are.
Roll when you are ready.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Okey-dokey. So, yep, that would be 9 damage.
9.
And I will. Yeah, and I'll take a strain back. And like I said, I'm kind of like taking cover between these little crates here.
You comfortably bounce against it all 70s cop show style, so you have some cover, and you can lean against it to catch your breath a little. We all know Imperial recycled air is a little more stale than you're used to.
Well, for Flashy Boy, that was a lot of effort, so he's got to catch his breath.
This is true. I mean, you're not wrong here.
Well,
I mean, he had to get out of his cockpit. I mean,
yeah, it's also strenuous to hit what I was aiming for too. So.
yeah. Which is strenuous just to shoot something without a trigger on a joystick.
Well, we're all good at something.
How the shit talk rolls, man. The shit talk rolls. Okay, so what is Kay gonna do?
You said that those crates are hanging down from the ceiling?
Not the ones that are in your floor, the ones that are in the part of the floor that's above. So if you scroll down on the map,
Okay.
if you look down at room 20, that's down on the map above, that's hanging that's hanging like 10 feet above your head. There's these
Okay,
crates
so-
kind of swaying in a secured manner because
So
they don't
that
want
would mean that this crate is on the floor?
The crates in this room are on the floor stacked on top of each other.
Okay, and so it looks like the small one here is on top of this big one here?
Yep.
Okay, so how high is the bottom one?
The bottom one is about 5 feet tall, so it could provide more than 3/4 cover. If there's a crate on top of it, it completely blocks the line of sight.
Okay, so can I get on top of the crate, use it for cover, and still see?
Climbing up the crate would be an action. You can totally do it. It's not very difficult to do at all. It's, in fact, pretty easy to climb these. It's almost like they're meant to be climbed for stacking. But it would be an athletics action to climb on top of it.
Okay.
And remember, if you hold down Alt, you can put yourself on top of the crate.
Oh. Oops.
So if you hold down the Alt button, then click your token, and then move it, it should put it on top.
I think, James, you have to send to back or something like that. Or send him to front.
As we're both trying to move your guy at the same time.
Yeah, because Alt didn't work for me.
Probably one of those magical GM functions.
Oh, apparently, yeah, it's now a new one. It's on token bar options. Now you should be able to do it.
Nope.
Try this, James. Right-click on it, on his token, and it should give you an option, send to front.
Or I can do that and put the boxes as not items but map level.
Do
I
that.
will shove them underneath and make them be that way. Okay,
Yeah,
so
man. Yeah. Shove them down.
so go ahead and give me a athletics check as you climb up there. And do you have anything to mitigate the detriment of the darkness?
Oh, actually, speaking of which, real quick question, James. What was that black die for?
The small opening you were shooting into.
Oh, okay.
Since
okay.
neither of the guys are directly in front of it, there's a little difficulty shooting from a long distance through a doorway.
Gotcha.
Especially when your buddy is half blocking it.
Fair enough.
At least he's not in the line of fire.
I was gonna say better than full blocking it.
No, I do not yet. That's something that we're going to need to get.
Or just
Although, getting an actual combat suit would be nice.
or just get Rigger to turn the lights back on. That's totally an option. It would be like, Rigger, these mechanics suck. Turn on the lights.
We don't want them to
Okay.
get power back on too soon.
Well,
I mean,
you can totally stay in the darkness. So you can go ahead and roll athletics whenever you're ready. And you do
it
have
works for me.
4 light side. Okay, so you easily hop up there and bend down on take a knee to take cover, which is a very smart move. As all of a sudden some 1970s cop music starts. As he drops to the knee with his blaster ready.
One strain?
1 strain. Yep.
Yeah, it's funny because I had to take my goggles off to see in here because I have goggles because of bright light.
Yep. Okay, so top of the order. Who's going first?
I'd like to take this one if everyone's okay with that.
Go for it.
So I would like to throw a stun grenade into the middle of all of them.
Nice,
Ooh.
nice
Good
maneuver.
thinking.
Okay.
I
That's gonna be.
would also like to do this,
Beat me to it. Nicely done.
Yeah,
and I would like to aim.
Okay, so which one are you aiming at? What is the target of your attack?
So I can throw it in such a way that it'll hit all 4, like with the if I can get blast. Correct.
Yep, they're all engaged. So if you hit any one, you hit all of them. But which one
Okay,
are
then I'm
you
gonna-
aiming at? Is my question.
I'm gonna chuck it at the guy who shot me.
Okay, big,
Yeah.
nice, tough stormtrooper that's got a couple stormtroopers behind him. That's a good target. It's not going to be hard like the guy on the ground because remember that would, totally give them a black dice since he's prone.
what,
And
rolling
5
in
feet
between
away.
his legs is difficult.
Well, it adds a black dice because he's smaller target
I
for a
know.
hand grenade.
I know.
So I've got a blue dice for your aim. I've got a upgrade. I've got your 1 purple, and I've got a black dice because you're throwing it in the doorway. Damn, that doorway's partial cover.
Um,
When he's right there, it is.
Well, I
yeah,
I
because
don't.
I'm
Right
also
on.
diagonal. I'm also diagonal to the stormtrooper, so it looks like I would have like a clear line of sight there.
Okay.
Like, yeah,
But
maybe.
remember,
for-
the black dice is totally because of the doorway, hinting at your character that you have a black dice right now.
Yes, there's that. There's that.
That's totally where it's coming from.
Whichever.
So it's
So-
good to roll when you are.
Okay.
And you're
Please
aiming
don't
for
fail me.
this guy. Nice. Okay, so let's first resolve your attack. What is the stun damage to this guy?
So the damage is 8 plus 1 success, so that's going to be 9 stun damage.
Yep, so 9 minus his soak.
Question: does disorient require advantage to trigger?
Yes.
How many?
It is 2 advantage. It is also 2 advantage for blast. It is one more than you have to spend.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. I gotta step away for a couple minutes.
Okay. It'll probably be a while before everyone explodes for him, so you got time. So which of those quality options are you going to choose for the 2 advantage?
I have to take Blast. I would love Disorient so that I don't get shot again, but I have to take Blast.
Okay. So Blast 8. That's
Nope.
What do you mean?
For my other maneuver, I would also like to walk away. So assuming that my maneuver resolves at the same time, I would like to be out of the blast range of my own grenade.
Well, remember you weren't engaged, so you're not in the blast radius.
Okay.
And you can totally take 2 strain to make a second maneuver to walk away still.
Which is the plan. I just want to make sure that I didn't accidentally get blown up by my own grenade, because that would be irritating.
Okay, so your 8 stun damage was just not enough to take out the stormtroopers. But all 3 of these guys go down like a sack of potatoes.
Poor little engineers.
And the lieutenant, of course, on the ground takes some damage. These guys look kind of woozy, but they're still on their feet, like almost if there would have been a little more damage. But stormtroopers are tougher than that. Da-dun, da-dun. So if you want to take an extra maneuver before the end of your turn, go for it.
Can I use that advantage to recover the additional advantage to recover strain?
Yeah, you can totally catch up on strain back as you're running away.
Now, the question is, do I want to run away or do I want to sidestep?
Either way, you figure the big trooper's probably going to shoot you again.
I know, which is why I want to do sidestep, because that's going to give me, I believe sidestep adds, what? Is it an upgrade or a black dice?
I was going to say, it's on your character sheet. You tell me.
Well, it is not. I have mine on Og Dudes, and I don't have the extension thing.
Oh, so it sounds like you don't have sidestep, is what I'm hearing?
You haven't copy and pasted that stuff into the stuff sheets? My goodness.
Well, I asked Jim for the extension, but he never sent it to me. Let's see. Okay.
Because I don't use the extension. So for sidestep, once per round, the character's turn, the character can perform the sidestep maneuver to try to avoid incoming ranged attacks. He then suffers a number of strain no greater than his ranks of sidestep until the start of his next turn. Upgrade the difficulty of all ranged checks targeting him by a number of times equal to the strain suffered.
Perfect. So I have 2 ranks in sidestep. It's also an additional maneuver, so that's going to be a total of 4 strain, and that will upgrade all of their incoming attacks twice.
Wow. Okay. So he is bold as brass standing there, and he's kind of like doing the whole sidestep dance. He's like, not going to get me.
Right, that's why I keep having to fuel crits.
Yep. So, of course, stormtroopers are all going to go first. We first have this guy with his big-ass rifle just outside of engaged range. Oh no! And Oni has to run back to the X-wing because apparently there's some. You guys hear this screech of TIE fighters, and he realizes that you have apparently enemy fighters incoming, and he's gonna go jump in his hotshot X-wing and go fight them. Aren't you guys glad Kay showed up?
Right?
Or is Oni taking that comment about not being behind his stick personally? So this guy is totally gonna shoot Enos again. Of
course he is.
He's just gonna shoot you again because yes.
But he does have it upgraded twice.
Yep. So it's
so
1
hopefully
purple.
He doesn't hit me that hard.
With 2 upgrades, he's gonna aim.
Why am I always
I'm
getting
like,
shot?
what was that?
Oh, yeah.
Why am I always getting shot? You're standing
Because
right
I'm
there.
always standing in front of them.
Talk like that is totally gonna make a crit happen. I'm just saying, man.
Right?
See, I told
God.
you. Talk like that's gonna get you critted. You could have taken that maneuver and hit around the
Wait.
corner.
It
I've
was
still
supposed to
gotten shot.
upgrade.
Wait, there should be 2 upgrades, right?
There
Yeah, it's supposed
is.
to upgrade
He's at
his-
point blank range. 1 purple. Turns 1 purple red and adds another purple.
Oh.
Hey,
There's a reason why I said the smart move is to run and make them chase you, but you wanted to like do this Han Solo dance.
He has a long range rifle. There's nowhere I can run that he couldn't shoot me.
Right here. He could have went right here, and he would have had to expose himself to all of your teammates' fire to shoot at you. Think about it. Think about it. So he's gonna hit you for 14 points and a crit. And of course that's before soak.
So 9.
And you just hear the sergeant say, "Get them! Get the rebel scum!" I'm still totally waiting to see the crit that he gets before I move my next guys.
I thought the other guys were.
Wow. You have 3 crits still on you, buddy. Or you do now.
Yes, I'm aware.
As these stormtroopers come bouncing out, you know, they're 2 dots, so let's, you know, yes, they're 2 minion stormtroopers, and they come running out. And they're just like, rebel scum, as they realize just how many rebels have popped up in this area.
I was on mute. I was going to say I was going to try to roll for it's not that bad.
Now, don't you have to be engaged for that?
Once per session, when an ally would suffer a critical injury, may take a it's not that bad action. Make a 3 purple medicine check to stop the ally from gaining the critical injury. Doesn't specify.
Okay, go ahead
Oh.
and give me your medicine check to tell him it's not that bad.
We holler out, which makes him duck and dodge.
He barely clipped you. Don't worry. See if we
ready?
can. Yep. See if we can heal that on him.
There we go.
Wow. So yes, apparently make sure you heal that crit you just gave yourself, since it didn't happen according to the doc.
He told me it's not that bad.
It's not that bad, kid. Don't get cocky, kid. And since he's looking pretty wounded, and they're totally like, give up. And they're going to totally... Wow. Let's see how we're going to do this.
Remember, they all still have 2 upgrades.
Quinn doesn't seem that dangerous of a target, but they're going to have to shoot you, man.
That's okay.
The fact that you
Hopefully
are
they
way
miss.
deadlier looking than Quinn with your freaking laser Gatling gun.
I also just threw a grenade in their face.
Yeah, there is that.
It's okay. If I can make it through, Quinn can stim me. I'll be fine.
From a certain point of view. Okay, and these troopers kind of, you know, halt, rebel scum, take out this one, and then we'll clean up the rest. As you hear one say, I've got a grenade. And that's their shot to shoot you.
God damn it! It's total 9 damage, so that's 12 before soak.
Yep. They shot really well.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay, so you're down to -1, so go ahead and roll that crit as they blast the shit out of him. Granted, it's
same fucking
totally a
one.
turkey shoot for these two guys. You're standing out in the open next to his corpse on the floor. So who's going next? You know the doc is pissed.
2 upgrades and they do nothing for me.
Do nothing. Look how they saved your ass on the first shot.
Yeah.
And we're
Yeah.
losing the bottom PC slot since Evan had to bounce.
Yeah.
as he jumps back to his ship and fades away. Actually, I like that picture of his X-wing on top of his face.
Well, fuck.
I mean, totally exposed and out in the open. I'm just saying.
In my defense, all of the stormtroopers rolled ridiculously well.
No, they were all hitting, really, really well.
Yeah.
This I don't
Um,
I don't take full responsibility. Part of this is the dice's fault.
Mhm.
I mean,
Wow. You did stand right in front of them.
if you think armor
Okay.
will save the day when it's not Beskar, just saying.
The first one, they rolled so well on all of their attacks against me. It's so high.
Unless you're a Hutt wearing Hutt power armor, you don't stand out in the open and take it. Just saying. And that's because they have a ridiculous amount of black dice and soak. They're like, heavy blaster rifle. Ho ho ho! You scratched under my armpit, thank you. So who's going? Got all these tactical badasses in position to shoot, and nobody wants to be the one to pull the trigger.
No, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. So the captain or the stormtrooper dude and the stormtroopers have both all gone, right?
Yep. So all your white suited Marines have fired away their weapons against these invading spice pirates who have attacked their ship. At least that's their point of view.
All right. Well, shit, man. All right. I got that. And then all right. So here's what we're doing. So we're going to do
Which I say ludicrous, whatever it is, ludicrous.
yeah, we're gonna be the medic.
You're gonna run past a hail of troopers.
Yep. And we're gonna stem his ass for 7.
As you nail him with the stem. So plus
And with
7
that-
points. That's nice.
Yep. But we're also doing
As he's
where's
on the
it at?
floor and his
Yep.
barrels just stop spinning. Which is the biggest insult to injury.
And where's he at on?
They rolled more successes than dice.
Where are you at on strain? What's your strain at? I can't see
He's
it.
currently down to 10, down a
I'm at
smidge.
10 strain.
10 out of
strain.
18. So he's fairly strained too.
Yeah, but I still have
So-
20 to go.
Yeah, but it just makes a difference. So I'm going to use improved stem application when as part of the stemming. So when performing a stem application action, may increase the difficulty to 3 instead of 2 purple, and the target only suffers 1 strain. But if I'm successful, he will get an increase in 1 characteristic.
Nice. So how many purple you need?
3 purple.
Okay, got him in there for you.
All right, ready?
Yep.
All
Nice.
right. So you get 1 strain, but you get one of your characteristics you can increase by 1.
Do I gain or lose 1 strain?
You gain
You
a strain.
lose 1 strain.
Oh,
No, you
sorry.
lose a strain. Because if I did it for a 2 purple, he would lose 4
Yeah.
strain.
You'd
And how
practice-
many wounds do I gain?
You got 7 back.
And
So
do
you-
I go from 0 or do I go from -1?
You go from -1, so you'd be up to 6.
But you get to also increase one of your characteristics.
So
by 1.
basically, add a green dice when you do something using that characteristic, and it's still the end of the encounter, right?
Stim application, encounter. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, he's giving you some roid juice at the same time. He hits you like with an EpiPen. He just you're. Ooh. No, you're still on the ground with your poor gun, just going click, 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 click. No, I
So-
prepared you.
So is there a way? So that was movement, action. Could I take 2 strain to help him to his feet?
No.
Okay. In that case, I will take 2 strain to do that.
You run up, kind of slide on the ground, stab him in the calf with the stem, and continue running away.
Yes.
Okay, so which attribute are you putting that +1 into, by the way?
Agility.
Okay. I totally thought you were going to go with brawn to make your soak +1.
I want to hit things better.
So while you're laying on the ground with your gun slowing down, this guy's laying on the ground, and he sees his men also laying on the ground, but not like you laying on the ground because you're moving, doing the whole.
Well, his
And
men are also stunned. They're not dead.
yeah, well, he's gonna turn around and shoot you.
Really?
Yes, yes, he is, because he's a jerk.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Just to double check, do the stormtroopers remove a black dice for some reason?
What do you mean?
Because it didn't look like my defense was added in for either of the previous shots. So I didn't know if that was an automatic roll 20 thing or if we just forgot to add that.
It's probably because we forgot to add that because you didn't say you had range defense 1.
You did ask if I had any range defense, and I did say
That
yeah.
was the first time I shot you. You got to remind me each time I shoot you.
Okay,
Range
well,
defense
I have...
and lighting, right? Haha.
Well, they're
Yeah.
so close that the lighting's not an issue, especially since you're standing right there.
Oh,
Okay, I do have
Yeah.
range defense for the record.
Okay. And you're flipping a light side.
Thank you, Quinn.
just saying.
I appreciate that. Uh-huh.
I got to try to save my work.
He's like, I worked hard for that, man.
Everybody please shoot them while they're all preoccupied piling laser bolts into my corners.
Sounds so sad when he says it that way. So, phew, he shoots at
So
you.
does he really? Oh, okay.
Does he really what?
I was gonna say, does he really know he's alive, or just like moaning and incapacitated still?
He's
But that's
still
okay.
moving, and that gun
He
just
missed.
finished going click click. And while he's laying down, squatting like a chicken shit, the stormtroopers are totally mocking his ass as he goes "Pachoo!" and misses. Misses
Yay.
horribly. On the plus side, the next one of you to go that shoots at him, and it has to be shooting at him, will get a blue dice because he exposed himself while trying to shoot this guy. You know, aside from the 2 black dice you would get as well from shooting him because he's kneeling and behind cover. And these guys moan out cold on the ground. So who's going next?
I'll go next.
Okay, Kay, and your beautiful vantage point there.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask about that. Since I'm up higher, does that negate his cover?
It
Since I
doesn't
can actually,
negate
see
it,
above him.
but I'll give you a blue dice.
Okay.
It gives you some advantage that you're behind cover and, you know, you've got a nice vantage point. It doesn't negate his cover that he's got. It just gives you a bonus.
Okay. I will aim.
Okay, so who are you shooting at?
Him.
Him? Okay, gonna shoot over the stormtroopers at that douchebag. I got your aim. I got.
Actually, I'm going to double aim for 2 strain.
Ooh, so 3 blue total. You're totally like take out the commanding officers. Always take out the commanding officers.
Yep.
And oh, you're going for an upgrade, and you
Yep.
are at short range. Fire when ready. SK's been aiming this whole time. And are you shooting on stun or lethal, by the way?
Lethal.
He's
Okay.
already taken some stun damage, for the record.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
well,
okay.
everyone was set on lethal, so.
And with those 12 points of damage, you blast a hole through his, upper torso that seems very fatal as he goes, ah, and falls down to the ground smoking. You've made sure his uniform is his current smoking jacket. So anything for your, well, actually you aim twice, so that's it for your turn.
Uh-huh.
So Rigger, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna save the day and go melee those stormtroopers to death?
I cannot remember if I've ever actually engaged in combat.
Riggs, do you have a blaster of any kind?
I do. I have a blaster pistol.
Okay.
It's all of a
If you
sudden
want to try use stun damage on one of the stormtroopers, they have very little strain remaining.
Okay, cool. That's what I was planning on doing, but I don't. I usually just mechanic stuff.
As you're totally using the 3 rules of Asimov, you are not doing lethal damage. You select the weapon to stun damage as your little cargo compartment opens up, and little articulated arm with a blaster comes out.
Yeah, I'm also doing that.
Nobody suspects the droids. Are you gonna aim? Are you gonna
yes,
aim as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna. What? Okay, double aim does how much?
Double aim means you get 2 blue instead of 1, but you're paying 2 strain for the second maneuver.
2 strain. Okay,
yeah,
that's what I wanted.
And
to
you
know.
won't be able to move from where you're at.
Well, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Okay. And then click on the dice in the middle.
Yep. You're all ready. Okay. I got 1 purple with 2 blues and an upgrade.
Okay.
5 beautiful dark side points on my side. Go ahead and shoot those stormtroopers on stun and see what happens. And it is conceivable that if you...
Nice.
So 8. So 1 goes down. However, since they are what's called minions, means they basically stack together as characters and as damage. For 3 of your advantage, you can stun the other one to submission too.
Yes, please.
Okay, so you basically pew pew your stun bolts, and they both go down like a sack of potatoes as she kind of makes that whizzing sound as she blows smoke off her barrel. And you still have 2 advantage.
She's like, don't mess with my.
Okay.
For 2 advantage, can you have an ally take a free maneuver?
Nope, it's 3 advantage.
Damn.
You were totally wanting to roll out of the way or get prepared, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
Okay, so can I take the 2 to run away, or can I take the 2 to give to someone else?
You've already taken 2 maneuvers, so you can't do any more maneuvers yourself.
Oh, that's right. Sorry,
and
my brain.
No problem. And don't forget to take the strain for that.
I did.
Okay. And for the 2 advantage, you could specifically give someone a blue or a black dice, or you could take back some strain, or you could...
Or you can take back a strain and also give the next person a blue die.
Yep.
I like that one.
Okay, so take back 1 strain, and whoever's starting at the top of the order will get a blue die.
Cool.
If I could do that, that would be lovely.
I'm
okay.
Cool.
Yeah, get the hell out of there.
But there's only 1 left.
And remember, to get to your feet is a maneuver.
Question is, so preparing my gun is an action, correct?
Yep.
Damn.
It's like slow fire. You're not going to be able to shoot this turn. You'd have to prepare this turn, which means hoisting up your gun and squeezing that trigger, so it starts going, and it's not until it gets to speed at that beautiful hum of 400 rotations per minute can you actually do weapons fire.
If you come back here while you're preparing,
Okay, question. How
I can
many
stim you.
squares can I move as one maneuver?
4 squares.
Okay, so I will take a maneuver to get up. I will take 2 strain to take a maneuver to go 1, 2, 3 down here. I'll
Okay.
do 4 just to get a little bit further down, and then my action is going to be to start spinning up my gun.
You totally are gonna do bad things here, I sense. So you
And that's my turn.
get up off your butt, spin your gun up in a very intimidating way. I like that.
As I run away.
And then you run away saying, "You will rue the day." He
Pokes his
says,
head around the
Tactically
corner.
You
Gets shot
tactically
50 times.
repositioned. You didn't run away.
"Who says rue the day?"
Poor
tactical
Stormtrooper Sergeant
reposition.
tries to finish me. He will get a torso full of laser bolts.
Ooh, you're just being cocky, aren't you?
Assuming that he lasts that long and all of my friends don't kill him first, which I find to be a
super
likely situation.
cocky. As he's just like, "Rebel scum," and he just comes out this way, looks at you, and he sees your big gun, and he looks at his big gun, and he's just like, "Fuck that," reaches behind his belt, clicks a button, and chucks a frag grenade at you.
God damn it. Sorry, Quinn.
And that was 1 range defense, right?
Yes, that is 1 ranged defense. 1 sec. God! Oh, that was Quinn. I was
Yeah.
I thought
God
that was
damn
Jim.
you, Quinn. God damn you.
I was literally opening my character sheet right now to do that, and I thought Jim had flipped it first, and I was gonna be so sad.
So he chucks that frag grenade. He is totally going to get shit on if that commanding officer is still alive for throwing grenades in the cargo hole. And he hits you with that grenade. Thankfully, Quinn is hiding around the corner and not sucking a face full of frag. As the grenade goes boop, 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 and it kind of lands right between your feet as you look at Quinn and you're just like, "Sorry, dude." And blammo, the grenade goes off for looks like 10 points before soak.
But guess what?
We couldn't hear what you said. You were a little too happy about still being alive.
Right?
I'm still alive.
There you go.
So how are you soaking all of that? I thought you only had a soak of 5.
I do have a soak of 5.
Okay.
You had 6 health left.
I had
Yeah.
6 health.
And that stormtrooper's not happy about seeing you explode and still wavering on your feet. He's like, "Jesus, that's that Clone Wars era gear, man. I'm telling you."
My gun's
So-
still spinning.
Now is the time for the help, a little help from our friends.
Yes.
So, who's
Okay.
going next?
I am.
So can I go? Or what?
Can I go what?
I was gonna go next since I have a back shot on him.
Well, he's still going to be there.
Yeah, you all get to go before he goes. Literally,
Yeah.
next round even. It's
Yeah,
4 of
I'm
you and then
stimming.
him. You're gonna reach over and stim his after he just ate a grenade. His armor looks so much like shit at this point.
Yeah. So stimming again. So that's 4 plus 2, so 6.
So 6 life back. You're healthier than before. Okay,
What?
so who's going next? As you guys hear the Sullison scamper happening back here.
Gets hit by a grenade, gets stimmed by his friend, is better than before the grenade.
Are you more stim
Because
than
I'm that
Christmas?
badass. And then I tuck back behind the cargo there.
He's more stim now than man.
Yeah.
I'd like to say there's some blood left in his body, but no, it's just liquid stim and the occasional white blood cell.
Okay. So Can I go next?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I get an extra blue for a back shot?
I will give you a blue for the combination of your elevation and the back shot.
Ooh, doggo.
Okay, so I'm
they got
double
dogs.
aiming.
Okay, he's got a great little sniper spot up there. He's loving that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I got your 3 blue there. Gonna do that for giggles just to see if something happens.
Okay.
That way it gives you guys a point. Surely one upgrade on 1 purple dice is not going to do anything bad. See how humble I am? This is how I convince the red dice to do something.
Tell me when you're ready.
Go for it.
Oh,
Damn! I like how the blues did better than your actual skill. So, that's... What does that
That's
look...
11 damage and a critical.
Okay, so just with the damage, what does it look like when you take his ass out?
He's like throwing the grenade. I line up in the middle of his back and go, kabooey! And he goes, ah!
falls flat on his face.
And falls flat on his face.
And then you can take strain back with some of that.
And I can take strain back with the rest of it.
Because you were taking nice, easy breaths while preparing. Okay, so what does Rigger do as you're bringing up the bottom?
There's no one else to shoot at, right?
Not unless you want to shoot your friends. Or Oni as a traitor.
Turn the lights on.
Okay, you could totally go
Right.
into that little control panel right there and totally say, fuck you, send power to lighting. Screw this reserve power lighting. Give me real lights.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me easy computers. What's the worst that happened?
I don't know why I hate it when you say that.
Because it adds tension.
Okay.
What's the
ready?
worst that happens is the equivalent of every character in Witcher saying fuck. Just saying.
Which I just finished the whole.
Oh, we're halfway through it.
Yeah, we
Moving on.
just binged today. It was a good season. I can't wait for the next one.
I haven't even
yay.
started yet. What the fuck, you guys?
Alright, I'm going. Yay.
Okay, so you easily turn on the lights. Is there anything you want for those 2 advantages?
I want strain back, please.
Okay, you can totally take strain back because you're talking to the ship's computer and the ship's like, hey dude. And you're like, hey dude, lights please.
Dude.
And he's like,
Yeah.
and the lights go bronk and you hear this chunk, 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 chunk as all the lights are turning on nice and bright.
Okay. Yay.
Yeah, I binged The Witcher today, and then sadly had time before the game, and finally decided, I don't have a lot of time to kill, so I'll watch Charlie the Unicorn's like ultimate finale.
Why would you do it?
I know, it was like 40 minutes even. It was like, oh, what a brain killer.
See, I
But
caught
they're
it.
funny as hell.
They're funny.
We caught up on the latest episode of Wheel of Time. We're finally caught up on that too.
Yeah, caught up on that.
Problem when you have someone you watch movies with, you have to sync up your time zones.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Such a pain having to be around cows.
I know, my God. I could do so much more.
Oh no, don't say.
Trust me, she's dying with the whole of me going back to the office next week.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But with Committed to have sat through the 5 episodes of Charlie the Unicorn, you got to watch the latest.
That's a lot of commitment.
You already watched the 5, sadly, like a train wreck. So you got to watch the newest one that came out. I mean, more brain cells are left to be fried.
Damn,
You got to burn the whole 6-pack. You can't just take one drink and leave the rest.
Yeah,
okay.
It's pretty bad.
So for the moment, it seems there's that quiet lull after a gunfight that you're just like looking around for aggressive attackers, and it seems eerily quiet.
Yeah, yeah.
Though
Speaking of,
I can tell Rigger, by the way, that the engineers just above have actually reset up the system. So the ship does currently have 2 strain now. That's what they were doing
Okay.
this last round.
Okay. Yay! I will relay that. That's fine.
Are we out of turns now?
Technically, until you get into your next scrap, sure.
Okay. Is there anything in the tech workshop and stowage that's interesting?
Depends. Are you going to climb down and go look?
Yes.
Okay, so you're safely climbing down instead of jumping and possibly dying in Star Wars because fall damage sucks.
Yes.
I mean, fall damage really sucks.
Yeah.
It's worse than D&D. I mean, at least in D&D, a level 10 character can jump off a 100-foot cliff and survive. Here, only Jedi do stupid shit like that. So you look up here in the passenger elevator space area. You know, there's a elevator here that takes you up to another level. So that basically drops down like the Millennium Falcon. You know how it had the ramps and the little drop thing, so passengers could ride it down to the ground. You see basically these are fancy benches for passengers to sit on, and a little guest refresher, and another locked door. And we're K standings. We got the hospitality suite. You know, calf dispenser, terminal people can get on if they want to get on, that type of stuff. But other than that, it seems like the bodies on the floor are all that's really in here. There does seem to be some little carry-on bags over here that looks like just their bivy sack. You know, it's got their stuff that they're bringing to be transported somewhere.
All right. So what I would like to do, I'm going to run over to the two.
whoa, Haas. Whoa, Haas.
Do you still have your
running.
gun prepared as you're running around with that thing?
You ain't going nowhere just yet. Hold on. Hold on.
Well, we have 5 stunned enemies that we need to get the weapons off of and get them out of the way.
Well,
you can tell us to do that instead of
they're
running.
stunned through the encounter.
As he switches his weapon on full auto and sprays down that hallway.
No.
They're stunned for good now.
You, sir, we need to take care of here real quick. So I'm going. So how many crits do you have still?
3.
Really?
3.
I know, when he rolled that and I saw ×3 come up. And it would have been 4 if you hadn't said nope.
Oh, I know. So no, I mean, I guess if I try to do a crit heal and then do a medicine check for wounds.
Okay, so you stop and bust out your emergency medical kit so you can do the crit.
Yeah, I have my backpack that I carry on
Yep.
me.
So you pop that backpack off and open it up on the ground, and you're like, "Whoa, sir, whoa!" And which one of those crits are you gonna try to heal?
There's an easy and 2 medium, none of which have ongoing effects.
Right. So at least try to get rid of something here to limit the next crit.
You tell me the difficulty you're going for, and you can go for it.
We're middle of shit. I'm gonna try to get rid of the simple one first.
Okay.
So,
one purple. And you're right, you are kind of in the middle of shit, aren't you? So go ahead and get rid of that crit if you can.
Was it a medium?
No, it was the easy he was going for.
No, the simple one. Because it doesn't matter. They all add 1. So at this point, it's like, let's just get rid of a pretty sure thing.
Okay.
So
he totally knocks out the easy crit. Even though it's in a rush situation, he's just like, I'm Dr. Quinn, medicine man. Yeah. And he just like, staple, squirt. You're good to go. Now don't get it wet for at least 24 hours.
Yeah, and then I'm going to apply...
And that includes blood.
And then I'm going to apply some blues to my next medical check for healing.
Okay. Oh, and apparently he did not go running away?
Oh, no. He's not going nowhere.
No. Okay.
Not yet.
So what is Rigger doing?
Hey, Ranks, can you get those stormtroopers who are stunned and take their weapons away, please?
Yes, I can do that. I will do that.
And
I will
she
take
just
away
kind
the
of
weapons.
carefully goes and grabs the weapons with a little grappling magnet and drives away with them behind her.
I say they're stunned. When they're stunned for the encounter. So
Yep. Unless somebody comes up and does something cool, like a
yeah.
Dr. Quinn medicine man.
Is there is that the only thing I can do, or can I ask the computer what else is happening on the ship?
What do you mean by what is happening on the ship?
Like seeing if they're doing diagnostics, if they're trying to get it back up, is the 2 strain them figuring that out?
Currently, basically, you just get the notification that they've gotten the weapons update system expresses that they've gotten 2 strain back on the ship. So the ship physically is actually in A-OK shape. It's sustained no real damage. There was some biofeedback due to ion attack that affected some of the cargo/security droids on board that were recharging. But now that there's 2 strain, they could possibly get this thing started back up. I mean, if you were willing to fly a ship with only 2 strain total, that's a risky perspective.
Yeah. I was mostly probably looking for if anyone else is moving in the ship.
Oh, you don't even need to hack to know that there's more life signs on the ship.
Okay. Like where they're moving to, like what, like is it just a bunch of ants trying to do stuff, or are they going for a purpose?
It's basically you just get a bunch of random bips on the map that are moving around. There's no more bips on this level that you're on. You know that for sure.
Okay.
Hey.
What's standard Imperial procedure as far as getting out of here versus fixing more?
Well, seeing as, if somebody was to right now slam the gas, the ship would shut down. They probably are wanting to do some more repairs before they start going. Okay. I mean, I'll let you know when you feel the engines kick back on. You'll feel that on the ship. But it's kind of a crapshoot whether the commander wants to flip a bitch and go back to the planet or turn around in hyperspace to where they need to go.
Speaking of which, Kay, can you just basically over the next couple rounds, if you can, stay on the computers and try and get in the system and make sure that they don't engage the hyperdrive or anything like that? Just try and stay one step ahead of them if possible.
Sure.
I think that would be good.
Okay. So, ooh, nice. Just to clarify, are we wanting to take the whole ship or just take some cargo and go?
I mean,
we're taking the ship.
Okay.
You could totally put cargo on here, and get back in your ships and open those cargo bays to space and shoot out the cargo. You could totally do that.
Then we'd have to pick it up.
I definitely sense you guys are set to storm the bridge and take the ship.
Yeah.
Right.
Once I'm done patching up.
Yes.
The mobile turret.
Okay, so Kay, what are you doing? As Enos is just standing there saying, "Come on, Doc, do your thing, Doc."
No, I am going into there. Well, is there a terminal nearby?
There's a terminal right here, and there's a terminal right here where you're standing.
Okay. I am going into the terminal. Using my data breaker.
Shut down comms.
And then can I basically take over the ship from here?
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah, the only way to take over the ship is the cockpit.
Okay.
What about disabling?
If Rigger was able to turn on and off the lights, can I turn off the life support to the cockpit?
If the cockpit door is closed, sure. I mean, you can totally attempt it. It's gonna be.
Can I close the cockpit doors? Or can I see if they're closed?
I'll say yes, they're closed, but they're not like sealed. They're just anyone can get up and walk by, and the door will whoosh whoosh.
Okay, so in that case, I will seal the doors, and give me back the dark side. I don't want to use it yet.
Okay. So go ahead and give me your computer check.
Okay. So is the data breaker for one roll or one like activity?
What do you mean?
Is it a?
It's
You talking a spike or is it
a data spike is a one-time use. A data breaker is like a pad. You know, it's like a laptop. You can
Okay.
use it over
So
and over.
I'm using the data breaker.
Okay. What does that do for you?
Adds 2 somethings to any computer check made to slice computers.
So by something, do you mean blue dice?
I don't know. That part didn't copy over. I would assume so.
Let me look. I will search it real quick on Ogdude's data breaker. Black Ops. Oh wait, regular data breaker.
It adds 2
Black Ops
boost
data
dice to
breaker.
computer
2
checks.
blue.
Yep. Okay, so I got those in there for you.
But it's not a Black Op one, right?
Yeah, it's the Black Ops data breaker.
So that one adds 2 blue to any computer check made to slice computers. Adds a blue to any attempts to locate the use of a data breaker in a computer system.
Right.
So roll when you're ready.
Look at that.
Damn.
What a champ.
So maybe for that triumph, you do have access to life support. If you want to, you choose to use that for that.
I will, in fact, use that for that.
So you, of course, think limiting, the people getting off the cockpit would be a good thing, and you lock the cockpit door.
And I turn off their air.
We're going to use
Jesus.
a red marker there, so the door is locked. And all of a sudden, they're like, is the air getting kind of stale in here? I don't know. We've got backup lights still. And you do have 2 advantage, by the way.
2 advantage?
You can totally make the system easier to break into, giving you a blue dice any further hacks. Or
I will do that.
You could use those to get strain back.
I will take a blue on future attempts on anything on this ship.
Okay. So,
I get to heal yet?
Quinn, you can go ahead and take your next turn.
All right. So I get like a blue to me and then a blue to the next go. Well, that would have been him. So I guess I could just do a blue to me.
Okay.
Or can I do multiple blues to me
Um,
with 6 of them? Or
I'll-
upgrade?
I'll give you an upgrade. How about that? And a blue.
There we go. With all those.
Mainly because you
advantage.
saw his vital organs, so it made taking his measurements better. So, what are you trying to do, by the way?
I'm doing a medicine check to
Okay.
heal
And
strain
how many
health.
purple is that? He is currently past halfway.
Yeah, let me bring up the
He's
chart
actually
here.
at a
Just second.
third right now.
Yeah, so wounds greater than half threshold is 2 wounds. Wounds less than threshold is 3. So I guess less than or greater than half is 2.
Okay, I got it in there for you.
All right, let's do this. We're gonna heal the shit out of you here.
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Oh.
I heard the bip from Scott's Be Right Back, and I thought you were flipping a point. I'm like, I already flipped one.
No,
But then I
see you
saw the
already did yours.
BRB.
Yep.
Because what's the
and
worst that
then-
happens with this guy's medical program?
No, we're good. Plus, I get my own blue because of my backpack, which did shit. But that's okay. He gets 2 heal and 2 strain.
2 wounds and
right?
2 strain back. Yep.
Wasn't as
He's
good as I was hoping,
fine. He's fine. So don't forget
Yeah,
to heal yourself up 2 and 2.
but yeah, I was hoping for more, but with all those dice, but the blue failed me.
Okay, so who is going next, by the way?
Do you heal yourself there, Eunice?
Oh no, sorry. How much did you say it was?
2 and 2.
2 and 2. Wasn't what I was hoping, but it's still better than nothing. I've stimmed you twice, right? Yeah.
Jim, do I hear those stormtroopers coming down on the right?
And it depends. What are you doing?
Well, I was gonna probably head out this direction to go help Riggs with the bodies.
I mean, if you stand out in the open there, sure you'll hear them. You'll see them come sliding down and hopping out of the ladder.
Then as my action, could I turn towards them and start spinning my gun?
You could totally stand still and start spinning your gun like you're going to shoot them in a threatening manner that would totally get their attention to shoot you next.
Well, weren't you already spinning your gun back here?
No, he wasn't. He was going to go move some bodies. Why would he spin his gun when everyone's dead?
Okay.
He doesn't just walk around spinning that thing when he's in bed alone with himself with it. See?
Sure.
And
I mean, if I can, like, if I have enough movement, I'll like back up a little bit and try and like stay vaguely behind the thing here. Does Riggs and Kay at least have some degree of cover?
oh yeah, Kay's totally got cover. He's inside the room here. Riggs, she's kind of standing out in the open. Oh, so you're taking some cover now.
Yeah, so I'll take a little bit of cover and spin my gun so that I still get their attention so that they don't shoot at Riggs.
Okay, so
Got
we'll
the
go
barrel
ahead and
sticking out.
say that we'll take a quick break to get drinks or
Okay.
use the
Sure.
restroom or whatnot. Especially since Scott's already, taking a break for the restroom, so it's perfect timing.
Yeah.
So we will take a quick break and be right back.
Cool. Oh, sorry.
Okay. I'm back.
Welcome back. Everybody's breaking.
Ah, okay. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
So, if they were to try and unlock that door, are they going against the door or my computers?
Which door?
The door that I just locked. To the
Oh,
cockpit.
probably your computers, I would think. But
Okay.
use a break. You'll have to double check with him when he gets back.
That's good. So I'm thinking that they can surrender the ship and get their air back. What do you think of that plan?
Maybe. If we can trust him.
Well, they're in the cockpit, so everybody else surrenders, including the 2 guards on the 2nd floor that we don't have to shoot our way past. And we station somebody with the engineers to make sure they're not doing anything stupid. And then it really doesn't matter what those 4 people do. Right?
As long as people stand down.
Right.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Oh, somebody's doing some action. Coach, you know what's really got me interested is our commander in chief here gonna yell out to you guys, "Stormtroopers incoming!"
I
As
would assume so.
he takes cover himself.
Yeah, I'm sure he's like troopers rear.
Apparently, Jason is going to be 1 extra minute. Unacceptable. He's demoted. Just because I want interestingness to happen. Yeah, 1 group of stormtroopers is in a hurry.
So we should redo initiative?
Yep, because you guys got all chill and relaxed after that last fight, and now all of a sudden, I'm assuming Enos is going to tell us when he came running and he heard these stormtroopers land that he says something to you guys to alert you to combat.
Okay.
But it is totally going to be vigilance, because you were totally expecting people to come down this area here, not come down the emergency ladder.
Right. This was the question I asked you.
What was the question?
The question was, do I see people moving around? Are they coming near us?
Well, they weren't coming near you yet. They were on other decks.
Fine.
See, when you get questions where I give vague answers to, that's probably you want to hack the computer system to know for sure. It just showed the little ants moving around. You didn't realize that the guys grabbed the rails and they were sliding down to this deck because the sergeant got in his helmet comm when the power went out and he said, "Get down here and secure the cargo bay." And then the door opened up.
Fine.
I mean,
Vigilance.
on the plus side, the doctor was using a couple turns to keep Enos busy here.
Yeah.
Probably telling him, "Stop spinning up your gun when I'm doing first aid on you."
I mean, I did mention possibly, disabling comms, but nobody wanted to listen.
Oh, I'm talking about the stormtroopers' helmet comms.
Yeah.
So close enough that just regular helmet comms can still work.
Yeah.
So far, I've got one initiative.
So before we actually go to initiative,
Okay.
can I tell the bridge crew that they could surrender the ship and tell all of their stormtroopers to stand down, or they cannot breathe?
You can totally go for a coercion to do that if you'd like. But that would be the first round. You'd want to take the first slot because everything is happening just as these stormtroopers slid down the rails and hopped out.
Okay, so hi guys, sorry I'm back.
You're totally fired. So the question we have is, as you ran around the corner there, saw the stormtroopers, pointed your gun at them, and started spinning and then slowly creeped back, did you yell out to your teammates that there was incoming stormtroopers?
Yeah, like troopers aft.
I mean, I'll totally give it to you if you say yes. I'm just curious. Because I didn't hear you throw out any kind of warning to the group.
Well, I need to roll vigilance.
Oh, yeah, but
Correct, I need to roll vigilance,
did you
right?
make a warning, though?
So I'm hearing
Step
silence
back.
was his answer. So that's my answer, I take.
So we have no freaking clue. Great.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm just a little distracted at the moment.
no problem.
Yeah, I would.
Okay?
I would yell like, "We've got company" or something.
Incoming! Wow, that's a huge spread in rolls. Okay, so, wow, Kay was really wanting to talk to the bridge crew and extort the hell out of them. So, who's going first? I'm assuming Kay, you're going to go ahead and threaten the commander of the ship?
Yeah. Do I get some bonuses for like shutting off their air?
I was going to give you a bonus for that.
It's like, you might notice it's getting harder to breathe, bitches.
Really? I thought Commander Vader was watching us on cameras.
Yeah.
Okay, and it looks like you flipped a light side there.
Yeah, I am no good at coercion.
Okay, so go ahead and make your coercion roll or deception roll, depending on, if you're lying or telling the truth that you're going to do this.
I'd much rather make a deception roll.
Okay, I'll totally let you do a deception roll. Wow.
lot of busy dice that did nothing.
Everybody
Not which side
said,
you look
do
at.
things and step on each other all over the place. So you throw it out there, and this guy just gives you the snooty, tooty Imperial commands of, I am commander of the ship, but I do not have the regulatory rights to tell the stormtrooper squads to stand down. Their commander is the only one that can do that. You rebel scum will pay for your crimes of piracy. And he yells over and says, co-pilots, radio Imperial command immediately. If the rebels don't stand down, fire on our own ship. And the guy's like, gulp. Maybe he's telling the truth. Maybe he's lying.
Told you. Turn off the comms. Oh well.
So, of course, at that exact moment, stormtroopers are following their sergeant's commands. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're going to shoot at the astromech they see plugged into the ship.
Hey, I thought I was being distracting.
Yeah, but
Not
you're hiding
enough.
around the corner and there's an astromech plugged into the ship that's clearly not Imperial. And the
Sorry,
ship
Riggs.
is having wonky issues, so they kind of they're supposed to secure this, and they know what damage an astromech can do.
Sorry, Riggs, but every time I stand in the open to draw the fire, Doc gets mad at me.
Doc gets mad at me when I let them shoot me. Hey, they're at 7 squares. That's awesome.
Sure. That's fine. Sure.
Do you have any range defense?
Ranged what? Sorry, I couldn't hear the word.
Do you have range defense?
Where I have 0 defense.
Okay. Well, apparently Quinn is making sure he doesn't have to do a mechanics roll, and he's flipping a dice, trusting that this long-distance shot will not be in their favor. As the 2 troopers are like, get that droid! He's socketed in the ship! Get him! And they pew pew!
No.
Oh man.
They miss you.
Yeah.
But
They leave themselves completely out in the open. So if anyone shoots them, they get a blue dice. But the terminal you're plugged into gets the shit blasted out of it and is no longer operational.
Okay.
that's okay. That's better than nothing.
It's better than
Better than you getting hit.
And remember, anyone
Yeah.
that shoots at these guys, they've exposed themselves and they're out in the open and not taking cover and they're too concerned about the droid. Totally exposed for a blue dice if you want to shoot them.
I don't mind being a distraction. That's fine.
So who's going next?
Would not recommend. The whole being distraction thing, would not recommend. But I'll take the next turn. My gun's already spinning.
Okay, so what are you doing?
I'm gonna shoot them. I'm also gonna aim at them.
Oh, the anger.
Probably not in the door.
As he aims the spinning barrels. And are you at medium range, it looks like?
Looks like about that, yes.
Okay, so you got 2 blue, by the way. One for aiming, one for that. Against 3 purple since you're shooting on full auto.
Yep.
Okay, take your shot. Wow.
The dice hate me today.
Where did the black dice come from, by the way? That's totally on
Uh,
your side, not my side.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a black, should there?
I don't have any
Are
blacks.
you encumbered?
There. Did it, for some reason, say that I'm encumbered again?
That's usually where black dice come from.
Because it keeps doing
Or do you have a
that.
crit that's got you? Let's peek at your character sheet and see what you got going on here.
Because I'm at 21 of
Yeah,
my
yeah.
21 encumbrance, but that shouldn't make me encumbered, correct?
If you are the number, then yes. If you're over the
Yeah.
number, then it adds 2 black dice. So
Okay,
basically,
then
it
let me
means
double check my OG dudes to make sure, because I do believe I am at 21 of 21. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So because he's that soldier that carries everything in the kitchen sink in his bag, when everyone says dump your stuff and carry just your Rutsack. He's the guy that's got everything, including the shovel and the 20 feet of wire.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't, for the record, I didn't know that being at your encumbrance counted as being encumbered, so I will fix that. Actually, wait a minute. Technically speaking, I'm not encumbered anymore because I
You
chucked
did
my
throw a
grenade,
which
and
is
that was
fun.
one of my encumbrance.
Well, you'll
Even
know
without the
about it
black dice.
next time.
Even
Okay,
without
so
black dice, it's still nice.
are you
So-
doing any extra maneuvers?
No.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stand there.
So who's going next? As this guy just lights the place up with blaster fire? Thank
For
God
the
there was.
advantage, I'm gonna give them a black dice in their next attack as they're getting showered in laser bolt.
Okay.
Can I please move?
You can totally take your turn as you look at the terminal you were plugged into, and it's just smoking wreckage. As you're just like, well, done here.
Yeah. Better to go here or in the room back here?
That's a personal preference.
Well, no,
Yep.
I'm wondering, is Kay safe in there?
He seems
Well,
safe
he's
at the
got
moment.
cover from the doorway, but
He could totally hit the button and close the door if he wanted.
I'll go back here.
Okay, so you're taking cover from those guys, like running towards your
Yeah.
ship just in case.
Yeah.
Anything for your action?
The thing I use is gone.
what's your weapon? It's
You
long
have
range,
that.
but-
Medium.
Well, you could shoot him from
You move forward.
here if you tucked.
Oh,
Yeah.
if I ducked in here.
If you merely
Wait.
took cover instead of hiding out of shot,
Just saying.
who's going to draw
Okay.
more attention? The guy shooting on full auto or the little droid going pew 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 pew?
Right. You
Okay.
got cover.
Yeah. Cover and then I'll shoot.
And watch her
I'd like
roll a
to aim.
triumph.
Ah! Ugh.
And you're at
I'd like
medium
to
distance,
aim.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, I got an aim in there for you. So you're taking 2 strain.
Mhm.
You're moving and aiming and shooting your pew pew. I got 2 purple in there against your 1 blue and your skill. Go for it.
Before I do that, in here it says quality stun setting. Is it better for stunning them or better for lethal?
It all depends on how you feel about murder.
I'm okay with murder. So lethal.
Wow, remember that, guys. The droid is
they're
okay with
scrubs.
murder.
They don't have emotions, so they're scrubs, right?
Hey,
so
don't talk about Imperials like that.
They're scrubs, so they take. It's all the same pool, right? So.
Shh, that's metagaming. Don't talk like that.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, for minions, stun and lethal damage is the same. It just comes down to whether you want to say that you're killing them or stunning them. It's personally up to your preference.
Lethal. Okay, I'm gonna roll now.
Okay, go for it.
She's a murder droid.
Damn! So you shoot at them, and you
Yeah.
miss just a little shy because some yo-ho is shooting their blaster cannon on full auto and lighting the place up. So what would you like for those advantages? You do have a lot.
I do have a lot. Can I? Oh my god, my brain. Apparently that break took my brain out. Can I throw a blue dice at the next person?
Okay, that'll cost you 1.
Oh, okay. So 2 blue dice.
2 would allow you to give it to somebody.
So for 3 of those advantages, you could say, I give a blue dice to basically the person going last, which I believe is Kay, right? Or is it Quinn?
I haven't gone yet, right?
Did I go first or did I go before they got here?
I think
I
you
think-
went first with your
Yeah,
threat.
so I think
So that would
Quinn's
be
the
Quinn.
closest.
Okay, so Quinn.
So somehow your shot is giving Quinn a blue dice, and you're passing a blue dice to the next person to go. So remember that, Quinn.
Will also be Quinn.
And you still have 2 advantage if you'd like to get up, 1 for strain, maybe?
Yeah.
And
Strain
give
is nice.
You could give them a black die if you want.
Black
Or-
die.
yeah.
The next
okay.
one of them to go a black die.
I
okay.
distract them enough. Yes. Yeah, all of that.
So as you do that, another pair of stormtroopers is sliding down the tube. And they totally will get that black dice that you're giving them as they take their action.
Okay.
This will all be fine if I just hit things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
these guys
that's
see this guy shooting on full auto, and then they get barely missed by this pew pew from the little astromech. They're totally gonna shoot at this guy.
Aw, okay.
I have some cover.
Okay.
So they have a
Plus
black
your
die for her
defense.
shot. You got range defense
Yes.
1, and you've got cover, right?
Yes.
And it looks like they're at medium range.
Also, I flipped the
and an
light side.
upgrade.
And an upgrade against them. Look at all that crap. My God. You just piled on the poop.
Stop fucking shooting me.
Stop shooting on full auto.
No, I can't. My gun only shoots on full auto.
As apparently,
God damn it.
their weapons, of course, power down after they pew pew at you, as they hit you still with marksmanship, as Obi-Wan Kenobi said, only known to be happening from Imperial stormtroopers.
God fucking damn it.
Jesus, dude.
I swear, I'm doing everything I can.
As their weapons seem to be malfunctioning now, and they will take a black dice on their next action, whatever that's going to be. Somebody kill somebody so they can pick up some blaster rifles.
Yeah.
Okay, so who is going last, Quinn?
Yeah. Yeah.
As you're
Hey,
seeing
Quinn.
this guy get the shit shot out of him again. And you
Yeah.
just told him, don't die.
You want to stim me again?
This is when you warn him about the diminishing returns.
Yeah, but even at that, it's 5 points. So take your 5 points. Are you adding your frickin' green for the additional thing when you shot?
Yep, I
Okay.
upped my agility for the session.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Okay, so Dr. Quinn is doing his best from a nice, safe place behind to cover.
So I got 2 more times I can stick you.
And bringing up the rear there is the last duo. It's apparently dogs at my yard and dogs at somebody else's yard are all barking at the same time.
I was gonna say the stormtroopers are barking at each other.
And these guys will gladly follow suit at shooting at him.
God damn it. I swear if they hit.
Sorry, Quinn. Beat you to it.
Damn. Well, give it back.
And thankfully, it's only 2 black dice, one for your range defense and one for your cover. Are we still in medium range?
One more because they've got the black, right?
Not that group. That's the group that just showed up.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So they are in long range.
Nice.
Get that extra purple in there, because that may be the difference between life and death.
It may be if they decide to be active.
Remember, I have defense.
Thank God.
Thank fuck.
Now we
As
got
they-
2 sets of troopers disarmed.
As they shoot their weapons, and apparently they are not happy about that. As they're pew 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 pew, and you hear their blaster packs just go dry.
They're overzealous.
Time to go back up to the
Run away.
other deck and get new rifles. Back to deck 3 to get rearmed.
Boy, you're lucky.
And you know what? They're gonna totally take 2 strain to get behind cover.
Am I lucky, or are the dice just finally paying me back?
Oh, so who is
Kind of
going
the same
first?
semantically.
Is anyone okay with me just shooting them?
Sure. What the hell?
Okay.
You have a good chance of putting a good hurt on them.
Damn it, Jim. I was about to do that.
Were you now?
Fine.
Sorry, I was mixing a drink. I couldn't click it for you.
In that case, I'll aim, and I'll aim some more.
Okay, keep taking that straight. I'm cool with that. As soon as he gets to a pair of stairs, he's gonna pass out.
Right? Unless you get some good rolls to get strained back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at a low percentage of my strain, but I'm really not that low on strain. I have a lot of it.
Oh, don't mock that, dude. Don't mock that. That's the type of shit that happens before threats pop up all over the place and your weapon breaks.
Well, the dice have been mocking me all game anyways, so I might as well.
Hey, it's not as bad as it could.
All right, Jim, you got both the aims in there for me?
Yep, I got both the aims against 2 purple for your range, plus 1 for your full auto. 1 upgrade for the point I spent. Ready when you are. Damn!
Okay, so that's going to be 15 damage, 2 advantage to auto fire once, 2 advantage to auto fire again, and another 2 advantage to auto fire again.
Hold on. You're
So
spending
excited,
more than
finally,
you got
before
to,
he hit.
kid. You know, take a second. So the first 15 dies. So the first, 15 points worth of damage blasts through 2 of them and kills them. Are you going to use 2 advantage to hit the next 2?
Yes.
Dies, kills both of them. Okay, so you have 4 advantages. What would you like to do with those? As you have 4 smoking corpses on the ground.
Is there any chance I can use those in an attempt against the other 2 guys there in the back?
No, because they're in a further distance from these guys. These guys are in medium, those guys are in long range, and they're behind cover. I specifically said they ran behind cover for you guys, from you guys. With no working guns, there's no reason to stand in the open.
But that's strain.
Yeah, they totally took strain. Or are you talking about he can get strain back?
No, he could take strain back.
Yeah, because there's nothing more relaxing than the smell of blaster powder going
sound
off in
effects
the
and
air.
blast- Yeah, finally blasting the shit out of things.
This is why I've been carrying this gun. I mean, literally, that's the whole point.
Yep.
I'm trying to
So far,
think.
we're better than last week with most of my games where there was despairs everywhere. So
Bad dice all over the place.
I'm trying to think. Hey, Jim, instead of using all 4 advantage to recover strain, could I spend 3 of those advantage to notice something useful or important? Perhaps like a grenade from one of the stormtroopers we killed earlier?
Yeah, you see that they've each got a frag grenade on them, so there's technically 4 frag grenades in play down there.
No, I meant something closer from the stormtroopers that we stunned earlier.
Yeah, back where
captain here.
Well, the captain, he used his grenade.
Oh yeah.
Remember, he threw that on,
yeah.
Your Mandalorian friend. But yeah, the stormtroopers that you have stashed in the hallway there under K, totally have a grenade on each of them. If you want to go running away to go grab it.
Okay. And then, well, so that's the 3 advantage to notice that?
Yep.
Okay, and then I'll take the last one as a strain.
Okay, so at that exact moment, as you gun them over, then you peek over here, and there's a glowing grenade pointing out to you, going, these guys
sign above loot.
Totally jump back in the stairs and start climbing their ass upstairs. They're not stupid. They are running away.
Okay.
And yes, they're totally using their action for a double move to get up to here. Thank you, Protective Tube. Okay, so who's going next?
Is this the new round?
Yep.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
because well, our Mandalorian went first.
Yep.
Okay. I'll try to cut out their comms before they send for help.
And I got the 2 blue in there for you. As the co-pilot's like fighting your hacking, saying, "No! I want to radio my girl in case I don't make it with these space pirates on board."
It's another blue because I have the advantage because I own the system.
Okay, you got it.
Tell me when you're ready.
It is ready.
Oh.
Okay, so you proceed to squawk out the comm system, and the poor comms antenna on the roof of the ship just turns down, back off. It was like, I was just turned back on, now I'm back off. And go ahead and take 2 strain as you were hustling to get right ahead of the guy and jam him just before he could speak up. This is not
Okay.
going well for them. They needed more
now,
stormtroopers.
Talking is a free action, right?
Yep.
Okay, your comms are down and your Marines are running away. I suggest you surrender.
Okay, now just to make sure you're leaving internal comms still working, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So go ahead and next round I'm going to ask for a coercion check with a free upgrade. Because unless you do a roll, the answer is still no, they're plotting against you.
Okay.
That's preposterous. The Imperial stormtroopers would run away. As they're like, "Captain, on the cameras, you can see the stormtroopers are running back upstairs."
So how much air do they actually have there? Can it?
They're not, I mean, it's a large cockpit, so it's gonna
Okay.
take them like 10-15 minutes to run out of air. Remember, it's
problem.
only been like not even 30 seconds.
Right. No, I wasn't saying they should now. I was just wondering.
Yeah, it'll take a while. And now that they won't be able to get any reinforcements, that's definitely making somebody sweat right now that, sir, they've shut down our comms. The stormtroopers are running. The sergeant's not responding to comms. Sir, things aren't looking too good. As they're just giving him that look like, "You're the commander, and you can practically sense his hands on his pistol just in case. "If you mutiny, I shoot you." Imperial ships, they're run much like British ships during the Age of Piracy. Okay, so who is going next?
I will go. I will.
Will you now?
Dim his fat ass. So this one's worth. This is your 4th one, right?
Think so, yeah.
Yeah. So you get 4 now. And then we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4.
As he's like, these are coming out of your pay, right?
Yeah. We're gonna have a talk when we get back.
Do you know how much these stims cost on the open market? Okay, and who's going last? Rigger. Oh, did we lose Rigger?
Rigger.
I was just going to say, on my other game, I can see on video when people fall asleep.
Okay, happened? Oh,
Oh.
what happened?
We're waiting on you.
Right, what
Well,
happened?
he-
I had to run away
he
for a
killed-
minute.
He killed comms and told him to stand down. They still got to make a roll yet. I stemmed Venus again and made a move towards the stairs.
Okay. Anything for me to shoot at? Doesn't look like it.
You could totally shoot Enos.
Totally.
Totally.
Will it heal him? Will it bring out an awesome thing? I don't know. Anyway, so it's like, is there even anything for me to necessarily do? Because the thing I talked to is gone.
You could totally look for another one, or you could explore the ship further, or you could go back to the gun turret.
Hey Riggs,
Or-
you want to take some of this flex detonite tape and like go stand by the hatch, so if they try and come back down, you can put it on the hatch and run to the other side of the room.
Oh, that sounds great.
Or,
Wow.
Or maybe you could go activate one of these guys for us on our side.
Wait.
Oh, that might be
Wait.
kind of difficult. They were
Yeah.
short-circuited, and you don't even know they're there yet because nobody's gone over there.
True. That's true. Technically, yes.
I mean, it looks like Quinn's
So-
running upstairs to the next level.
Yeah, I'm heading to the next level, so
Okay.
You could
I
totally
did
back
use
him up.
Discord. Yeah.
On the plus
Back
side,
up.
it's a ramp and not stairs. It's totally droid
That's
friendly.
what I was about to ask.
It's totally droid friendly.
Droid friendly. Woo. Okay. Do you want me to go secure the hatch real quick and then run upstairs? Peoples?
I would go all the way back there. If they're coming all the way back down here, we'll hopefully be on the next level by the time they get back down here.
Okay. Then I will follow Quinn.
Okay, so Rigger is totally chasing behind Quinn, running upstairs to further the combat. I love it. Okay, so top of the order, who's going first? The doctor and the droid running up the stairs.
You want me to, or you want to?
Well, do you have something to do?
Get him to surrender, hopefully?
Go for it.
Okay.
And I got your free upgrade in there, and apparently Dr. Quinn is giving you a second upgrade, bringing balance to
Okay.
the force.
Are we still on coercion, or can I use deception?
At this point, your lies, you can try it, but if you're going to use deception, I'm going to give you a black dice because they know you're just a bunch of pirates lying bastards. And you failed your last deception and didn't follow through with it, so.
Oh no, they're slowly dying.
Oh,
They can't breathe. They should know that the air is slowly going away.
Well, they're resistant to your lies.
Okay. 2 yellow, a green, and a black versus 2 green. I think I'm gonna stay with the deception, right?
Okay.
well, plus you got the upgrade.
You got 2 upgrades. I mean, that alone should carry you through against the 2 purple and red that you're going against, and a black.
Okay.
I mean,
let's
2 upgrades. That's all I'm saying. Is 2 upgrades.
I got faith in you, man.
Okay.
Okay, so what exactly are you trying to get them to do, and what is your terms? Because if you're asking for surrender, we all know there has to be some terms. Going up and murdering them is kind of voiding the surrender.
Okay, so the Marines and everyone on the ship stands down. There's escape pods on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All of them can go into escape pods. We'll let them go. Their guys can pick them up, and we just go our merry way.
We know you
Which
have
is a
family.
better
to go back
offer
to.
than you give anyone else.
We also
Ooh.
have 5 captured soldiers down here.
And you literally hear him say during your negotiations, and what of the men that you've captured? Aside
We'll
from
give
the
'em
ones
back
that
to you.
you've killed, you scum.
Well, we can't give them back to you, but we tried to stun as much as possible.
Likely story. Load the men into the escape pod, and once you have jettisoned them, we will evacuate the bridge. Once you turn back on our life support. That's the threat. Is basically they're making a counter demand, which is they want to see you on the cameras, put their people on the escape pod, and bumped it away.
That's fine.
Which conveniently, the escape pod is number 5 right here. Do you guys load them up?
Yeah, we strip all of their
wait. I'm
weapons
countering
first.
their counter.
You're countering their counter?
We'll load them up and unlock the door and have you leave.
We will leave once you have jettisoned the people that you have on that floor.
Yep.
I will not no.
You will leave.
We will leave, yes, but once you have jettisoned their escape pod with them first, we will not trust you with killing loyal soldiers of the Empire.
Okay.
Okay, we take all their weapons and toss them
Basically,
in the
the threat is he doesn't trust you to follow through, so he wants you to set some people free. You know, it's the standard cop tactic. Let some hostages go, and then we'll go ahead and give you the bridge.
Okay. That sounds like a good deal to me.
Yep.
All right, Quinn, head up to take the bridge. I'm gonna get these people on the pod. So I'm gonna take all the people that we've captured so far that are unconscious, and I'm gonna take all of their weapons first and like just toss them to the side of the deck, and then I'll put them on the pod.
These two guys here on the intercom that stand down men, these scum have taken over the ship. We have agreed to terms of surrender if they will not murder the passengers they have in the cargo bay. Under Imperial Edict 4739, I have the authority to do so to save the lives of Imperial officers and command personnel in the Stormtrooper Corps. He's making sure none of his co-pilots are bucking for promotion to shoot him. These things happen where somebody says, that's an illegal order, sir. I'm going to shoot you and take command.
Oh, yeah.
So he says this, and he's totally sending these two guys that are right above you.
Mm-hmm.
They put their weapons down upstairs, and they come down to go in the escape pod with the other guys to basically eyeball that you're really doing it.
Yep.
They come down, and they're willing to get into the escape pod too, and watch you guys load up the poor unconscious folks.
There is more than one escape pod, correct?
There is. There's 4 escape pods total. They can easily handle the entire crew plus 4 pilots for the TIE fighters.
Thanks for the cargo. Have a nice day.
Oh, so you're going to be a dick and rub it in, huh?
No, I'm trying to be polite.
On Mandalore, polite means something completely different.
Yeah.
Well, when you and your buddies all get done shooting at each other, you know.
Damn.
It's just tussle.
Give them a little pat on the back and
Okay, so
tell them you'll see them later.
Takes a few moments. You load them up. You fire off their escape pod. The captain and his personnel have shut down the ship. Yes, they have not repaired more than 2 strain. Mainly because the 2 guys that came down were the techs that were going to be doing that. And they surrender the craft to you. And the commander wishes to be introduced to who is your commander on your team.
Hello.
Whoa. When he says that, I'm going to say, who's supposed to be in command today anyway?
I mean, we're not in a cockpit.
Ground command.
Yeah, we're not in a cockpit, so that would be me.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
As the commander kind of rolls his eyes at this because he's realizing I was just robbed by the Dirty Dozen. As he salutes you as a fellow officer, as he looks at your uniform and kind of thinks maybe you are a veteran of the Clone Wars.
given the amount of times I just got shot and I'm still alive.
And the fact that your suit's been fragged a dozen times, it seems.
Yeah.
Because of your awesome doctor? Yes.
Yes.
As
They
he's-
don't know that.
As he's not bleeding blood, but he's bleeding, Bacta.
Dim.
As he says, and he basically offers his hand in surrender and, camaraderie of soldier to soldier. And he wants to know what your name is since he's surrendering to you. You sense Old Republic soldier here. Not the first time he's lost a ship, but it might be the first time his competitor has got no honor to at least introduce himself.
Yeah, I'll shake his hand. I'll give him my name. I said, the name's Ionis Kreese of Mandalore. Put up a good fight yourself.
As he kind of nods and looks back at his men, Mandalorian, that says much. It is good to cross swords with someone of honor, and not the usual rebel rabble scum. As he kind of looks at your ragtag group, and
I look at
proceeds to
him and
step, his men into the escape pod, and then he's the last to board.
say, you seem like an honorable man. Must be from the Old Republic.
He kind of nods and says, back when there was much honor in the Navy. I hope the Empire doesn't blow you out of the sky too soon. But don't expect any quarter to be given.
It was a good fight. I salute him back.
As you salute, and the escape pod hatch auto closes, and goes flying into space after the second one. Conveniently, its auto nav is taking it right back to the planet it came from. How convenient is that?
Right.
So it looks like Rigger and Quinn are the two heading towards the cockpit first, right?
Yeah, we're getting things wherever we got to go to do some fixing.
Before I leave this console, I want to make sure that they didn't do anything like start the self-destruct symbol or something.
Okay, so let me set your difficulty. You got 3 blue because you own the system and you got your deck. And since they did not attempt to continue countermanding you, and you have an upgrade, go ahead and make your computers roll. Damn! As needless to say, you kind of cracked the system now that there's no co-pilot counter-hacking your hacks. Super easy for you. As yes, there is no self-destruct ticking. That would have been in bad form for them to do that after you followed through in your dealio. And you can clearly see that when the ship was attacked, it did send out an SOS before you guys shot the ship to shit with ion cannons.
Okay. I'll relay that information. We got to get out of here quick. They did get off an SOS before I shut it down.
And it pretty much could use a good mechanics check to try to get some strain back, because you can clearly see it's got blown breakers and capacitors all through the ship right now, because you're literally at 2 strain, and that's because they fixed it up a little. So
can I use the 2 advantage to help on the mechanics?
You can totally guide your mechanic through and give them a blue dice.
Okay.
So who's
Is
going
that for
next?
1 or for 2?
That would be for 1.
Okay.
Because you specifically want to give it to Rigger, who's your mechanic.
Right.
Yeah. Who's the main mechanic there?
So who wants to go next? Now, Quinn, do you have the hop into the cockpit as a free maneuver trait?
Oh, I think so.
Because remember, you can start the engines up and fly. It's with just 2 strain. I mean, you can get moving at least. And you will only require you to make 1 maneuver forward to get to hyperspace distance.
Yeah, let's ride, mount, dismount. So yeah, we'll pop in there and
Okay.
get things fired up and
You
and
pop
moving
in and
away
turn
from
the engines
planet.
on. You see a whole bunch of red warning signs, which is the system strain, but the hull damage looks beautiful. It's untouched.
Yep.
Okay. So, Rigger, what are you going to do?
Mechanics. Get strain back.
Strain for the ship?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you got a blue dice thanks to your buddy Kay giving you walkthrough on it.
Uh-huh.
And Rigger also wants an upgrade.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your mechanics as you're basically popping breakers out. She's pulling out those old car fuses and throwing them over her shoulder and replacing them. It's a spaceship. I'm sure there's like 2 extra breakers on each panel to make sure.
Of course.
So you are now up to 6 strain on the ship.
Yay.
As I will
Okay.
flip over to the ship's map and make sure to add that in there so you know you got it.
Okay.
You are at 6 strain. 50 hull damage, but 6 strain. Okay, so who's going last? Enos?
I mean, I don't really have much to do. I guess I'll start heading
Turret?
up to the cockpit. Well, actually, yeah, there's a rear turret right there. I'll go
Yeah.
back to
Yeah,
that.
there's totally a rear turret back here.
Just in
Hey.
case. Just in case.
And Case, with his great roll, now has the access codes for you to get back there.
Yay.
Awesome.
It's 46321. Okay, so you basically out there and you see the life pods flying away, and you see that there's some really, really distant TIE fighter movements, but they don't seem like they're looking interested at you at the moment. And you feel the jolt as the engines light back up. And, you see a slight flame coming out of the tail cones. Because, rear turret. It's got great view back there.
Nice.
Okay, so top of the order, who's going first? Is it going to be Rigger for astrogation or Quinn for piloting?
Probably astrogation, because where's he going to pilot?
You
Well, I
got a
can
point
still-
there.
I can start moving away from the planet.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
That's true.
So who's going first?
ahead.
Wait,
Go
do we have a scan and see if there's anyone else near us?
Nobody's used the scanners yet.
Okay. I can do that last, but
Yeah.
So astrogation first? Is that what we're
Okay,
doing?
so
Go ahead.
where are you going for astrogation?
Where are we
Basically,
going?
how difficult of a roll do I need to add?
Oh.
Is it a 2 or a 3 purple?
I want to just automatically say 2.
Okay, so you want to make a quick and easy jump and then probably another one after the
Yeah.
fact?
Yeah.
Just get the hay out of Dodge.
Okay, so you're picking something easy and current and fresh. And since you are using the nav computer on the ship, you get a blue dice, by the way. Their records have been currently updated by the Empire.
Lovely.
So go
Alright.
ahead and make your astrogation.
Okay.
And the ship has a pretty good
Oh.
system.
Yeah. So in no time, you're spitting coordinates out to Quinn. You're just like 1 through 24. There you go. That's all the numbers. And take 1 point of strain as you're transferring that information out to Oni in his X-Wing, so he can type in the numbers too. Since he has to manually type them in, since he's been fighting off TIE fighters for you.
Yay.
Okay. What does Kay or Enos do?
I'm gonna sit in my cockpit and I'm gonna keep an eye out for anything that could be dangerous.
So you're basically heading back to your ship.
What? Oh no, I mean my rear turret. I'm just gonna
Oh,
chill
okay.
in the rear
You
turret.
said cockpit, so I thought maybe you were running back to your
He's
ship.
talking to the turret.
Okay. So you watch, the X-Wing blows up a TIE fighter and comes back towards you guys waving. And he does the wing waggle. Okay, so
We flash the
Kay.
lights going, hey.
Yep. Click, click, click,
Knock
click.
up.
I want to do a scan to make sure that somebody isn't trying to sneak up on us.
Okay, let me...
I'm basically doing that visually.
And go ahead and make your computers roll. as you see that the foreseeable future, especially since you only need to go a few clicks in space, get to hyperspace, area, which you're practically there, as wide open and clear. What would you like for the 3 advantage? And you can totally say to make sure you have a clean getaway.
Yeah, make sure we have a clean getaway.
Okay. You tell the guys, hey guys, we got a clean getaway. And Quinn, do you put in the coordinates?
Oh, of course.
You slide forward that hyperspace lever.
Yep.
As the whole ship kind of lurches and the Imperial pre-programmed hyperspace warning alarm beeps off a half second before you guys go to hyperspace, in case it wants to make Darth Helmet go fly across the ship. As you blast into hyperspace to your first designated spot, which is a fairly common trade route spot, super easy to hit on the astrogation charts. You're there for about an hour before you get the warning, and then about an hour and a half total journey time. You guys pop out of hyperspace. Is Rigger gonna get another coordinates for another location? As you guys are floating around in space trade routes, but it's safe, it's totally safe at the moment.
It's
With an
totally safe.
Imperial ship.
It's totally safe.
So,
As you
the
popped out
next
and a
jump?
bunch of rebels see you and start attacking.
we should probably. Is there any way to radio Pappy or?
Yeah, you can totally radio Pappy on a secure channel.
Yeah. Tell him that we did it. We need to jump.
Well, you know how you said that you wanted the cargo? We figured it'd be easier to bring the ship with us.
Yeah. Let's do that first, just to.
Okay, so you radio him. He verifies you are who you say you are, and immediately over the comm comes back the coordinates for your jump. So you don't even have to do it. They're
Okay,
telling
cool.
you where to meet them at.
Yay.
Cool.
Okay.
We
So-
launch.
So you do that, and you launch, and as you guys blast into hyperspace, you hear the dun 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 dun.
Yay.
As yes, each of you guys get 5 duty. Needless to say, you secured your duty in many ways. Duty.
And what sort of XP are we looking at?
And you are looking at 25 because you completed the mission and you came back more than with the spoils.
Sweet. We rock.
Okay.
So, what are we at for our?
Everybody's at different numbers right now, last I looked.
Well, no, our contribution rank. That's the. So there's the magnitude of duty, but then I actually I think I had them filled in wrong. There's the contribution rank, which I'm assuming is our level, right? Are we at like 1 or 2?
I have us at 3.
I think we're
for
at
total
3.
duty.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right. We are 3.
Your squad
I
is
have-
at 3.
I have currently 20 duty myself.
I got 25.
I mean, you might be at a spot where you can all cash in for a rank 4.
More
I've only
notoriety.
got the 10 we just got.
You mean the 5?
Oh, sorry. In that case, I've got 10.
Okay.
So
I mean, once Oni is back, you could probably totally ask him too what he's at.
Yeah. So we might be pretty close, but
we'll just have to remember to check at the beginning of next session.
yeah.
We got everybody.
I mean, not sure that we need more notoriety, but hey, what the hell?
I mean, you know what it is now that Enos identified himself, Imperial intelligence is immediately linking his name to Thunder Squadron.
Yeah. Which means we run into bigger, badder people and things like that. Yay.
Yeah. Now that you have
Oh.
a name, someone might
As
actually
our
be
notoriety
assigned
gains.
to hunt your squad.
Hey, speaking of which, Jim, I'd like to check in with my quartermaster buddy if I can do that.
Okay, so as a nonchalant after the credits check, you check in with your quartermaster buddy. Give
This is
me
the
a deception or a coercion.
this is the after the credits, little
Teaser.
scene. Yeah.
As all of a sudden you get that do 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 do, and the camera focuses on that Imperial planet real quick and zooms into the guy sitting there at his, computer that requires you to take your helmet off to log in.
Oh,
Damn
Is
facial
there any
recognition.
reason I can't? Is there any reason I can't use a leadership here?
Well, it depends what kind of talk you're having with him. I mean, leadership's kind of bossy, man.
He's whispering sweet nothings to him, telling him how
I
great.
thought you were gonna talk shit with a buddy. I mean, leadership's like coercion, charm, deception. Leadership's
Here, I'm
more
like-
of a attention, soldier. Tell me what you know. And you'd be like,
Yes.
wow, I thought we were bros, bro. I mean, that was totally unbro the way you broed me like that, bro. We're not your bronies anymore. But
I can
which
use charm. I'll try to charm. Be all like, "Hey, how's it been going?" Like, just be extremely friendly, basically.
Okay, go for it. Let's see what you get to see how much you get out of him. Oh, you don't trust your friendship? You actually blipped a light side point? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and try when you're ready.
Wow.
See, you didn't have to worry about the power of friendship.
Oh, nice. So I'm basically trying to check in with him, and I've been trying to basically influence him towards thinking that basically influence him towards like pro old republic ideals,
And
talking about how things haven't been so great with the empire around.
oh yeah, he's like, dude, things never would have been like they are nowadays under the old rebel days. I mean, do you know I heard of 2 new officers getting replaced with ISB agents on on the base. ISB is like listening in supposedly on like every other call. Supposedly my terminal's not being monitored yet, and that's totally what every employee does who uses their monitor for not work purposes. As he's just like, yeah, they've got us moving a lot of cargo right now. Apparently something's been going on. Probably some more of that imperial terrorism we keep hearing about on the comms and shit. But they've got us kind of moving things in a lot of small cargoes instead of one big ship. But it's been a total pain on my quartermaster crews because we're having to load so many smaller ships and sending ships out at like 30% capacity of what they should be. I mean, if
Yeah,
you
with-
could see how my poor guys stacked these ships, and you kind of look down at the floor, the cargo hold here of how it's so empty and spacious, you're like, I totally understand.
with how much ISB's been cracking down on people for like literally nothing, I would think that you might start getting worried about I don't know, sometimes I feel like ISB are the real problems.
You wouldn't hear me say that, but I totally agree with 100% what you're saying with. And he's
Hey,
like,
if you're ever
you're totally not an ISB agent, right? You'd have to tell me if you're an ISB agent.
Go ahead.
oh, don't worry, I'm not. But if you're ever in a tough spot and you know, you gotta get out. I've got some friends and I could probably help you bug out if it ever came to that.
Oh, he's like, dude, thanks for that, man. But Things are going good here. I mean, I got two different girlfriends. They work on different shifts, and they don't know about each other. So things are going good here for me. You'd be amazed when you're the guy that gets the supplies first on planet, how quickly that gets you friends.
Well, just know that if it ever comes to it, I got you back.
And he's like, you're real buddy. And keep an eye out. I did hear out in Hut Space, there's 2 cartels that are supposed to having some bidding on some old Republic ships that they found as space salvage.
Yo, that's gotta be so cool. Thanks. I'll see if I can. Me and any of my antique buddies can go check that out.
The auction's happening in about 2 weeks, I heard, out on one of those Hut stations.
Thanks so much, man.
Hey, and if you get anything good that you don't mind parting with, feel free to let me know.
I will do.
And he gives you the Buddy Jesus fingers in the hologram.
Later. Awesome.
And that's
Just
when
gotta check it.
that's when the screen wonks out. Dun 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 dun. As you know, these characters will be back in 2022. If I'm checking my calendar correctly. Now I'm actually curious, did I actually quote correctly?
You did, yeah, the first.
And following that up, I have the question: is everybody good for New Year's night, New Year's Day's night, or
Yes.
are you probably going to
New
fall
Year's
into a
Day's night.
coma?
No, I should be all good.
I'm good.
I should
For
be
me
okay.
night.
All right, cool. Just let me know if things change, because you never know how family stuff or trip stuff may pop up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, I got to bow out. Bye, guys.
All right, have a good night, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, later all.
All right, later,
I'm
guys.
out of here too. Thanks, Jim. Have a nice day.
Thank
And
you.
have
Later.
a good rest of the year. Be safe with the rest of the
Yes.
holidays.
Merry Christmas,
and
all.
be safe
Yeah,
out on the roads, because roads are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you guys in 2022.
Yeah.
Yep.
See y'all next year.
Later.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.